Okay, we are live.
Okay.
Rock shrimp. That's what they're called. Rock shrimp.
We will be starting in a second. What's the Pokemon there, Chief?
What's the number there, Chief?
690.
690. Pokemon 690. Skrelp. Skrelp.
Ain't got no scrope.
In case anybody was wondering, my underpants are falling down.
You're sitting. Yeah, how is that possible?
Well, they came down. And then I sat.
Oh, and that's kind of
And they like
when you sat down and like dragged
pulled them down.
You know we're live, right? I mean, I'm
Well,
sure you don't care. But...
Hi, everyone. My underpants are falling down. It's because my pants are too big.
Okay, well, we don't need to yell.
Well, they're not too big in the thigh.
See, the thing about a podcast is it's audio, and that can really scare people. When it
You
comes
know,
to
I believe you said like about a month ago that within the next month you have a new system, and I was excited to actually be here for it. And
I'm waiting until you go away. Yeah,
exactly, because I'm not going to be around starting
Much
this.
longer.
I was saying what I thought was going to happen. It's still happening. It just hasn't happened yet.
What?
Now hold on. I already forgot the Pokemon.
Skrelp.
Skrelp.
Skrell? Scrope.
Skrelp.
I can close this.
Skrelp.
Skrill.
I don't know. All right.
Skrelp.
Something doesn't feel right.
Yeah, let's just cancel the show.
I feel like I'm forgetting something. Well, we're going for it. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast. Webisode 690, the Skrelp Podcast.
Wow.
Mom Brain,
Yeah.
tell us about Skrelp.
And sing it, I think.
Please.
I think that this is we sing
I
everything
do that
episode.
every week. Just like put a little
Not
extra
that.
stink on it this time.
Yeah, but I think
The kids call it stank.
everything except for what I'm saying right now should be sung. Please, Mom.
They all
Skrelp
singing
is a
podcast.
brown aquatic
Please.
Pokemon.
It'd be my nightmare. Whenever a TV show does like a singing episode, I'm like, forget it. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Ugh.
To me, that officially means you've run out of ideas. Unless the whole show is about singing, then it's
Family
okay.
Guy
Or Buffy.
or The Simpsons.
It annoys me
Or
about
Tim and Eric.
It annoys me about them
Riverdale.
too. All of them, yes. It annoys me about all of them. But for some reason, animated stuff I can take a little bit
There's
better.
What
a
did you
singing
think-
episode of Riverdale in the next
What
season.
did you think of California Dreams?
Season 2. That show, like,
Did anyone watch that show?
Wake Me Up When I'm Dreaming. Yeah, I watched it because my sister watched it.
Oh, okay.
I watched it because I watched it.
I just
It
remember
was- it
a
wasn't
very
ever my
annoying,
first choice.
skinny blonde girl.
Yeah, who is she? She's a surfer or just in the show?
I don't remember what she was.
Skrelp is a brown aquatic Pokemon
Oh,
that
right,
resembles a marine animal similar to a seahorse. Called a sea dragon. The tip of a Skrelp's tail has 3 leaf-like fins. Skrelp has a pair of roundish, clear pectoral fins on the sides of its body, a dull purple belly, and a blunt spike on its hunched back.
Hmm.
Skrelp's face is the same color as its belly. Mine too, really. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's not that uncommon.
Mine
With-
too. Just as much hair
an upward pointing
on my face as on my belly.
snout and red circular eyes with small black pupils. A clear roundish. God, ads are popping up
A
everywhere.
clear, roundish Huggies.
Did you win?
Clear roundish growth
She
with
went in
brown.
Hey, don't jinx us. That's been gone for a long time. She's on a different site here.
A clear roundish growth with a brown stem sticks out of the back of the Skrelp's head.
Ooh.
It
Probably
camouflages
wanna
as
get that
rotten
looked at.
kelp in order to avoid predatory attacks and prey on
Like
unawares.
that guy on Tosh.
Its main source of food is rotten seaweed.
yeah.
Skrelp, along with its
Oh, it has to be
evolution,
rotten?
coexist well with Delmise.
Hmm.
It's oh god, Jesus.
That's what it was. Thank you, Giant Reggie. I knew I
Seahorses.
forgot something.
It's number 690. It's a poison water type. Its abilities include poison point or poison touch.
I'm doing it.
And its hidden ability is adaptability. There's boys, there's girls, there's 1 foot tall, and there's 16 pounds.
There's
one
boys,
foot
there's the
tall.
girls.
There's 1 foot tall.
That's all I have for you. So just get over it.
Thanks, Mom Brain.
Come
From
on.
And
New York.
I'm not feeling 100%.
thanks again
today.
to Giant Reggie because he reminded me what I forgot to do.
Who
I
did you
need
what was it? You
to
blew
put
it.
the S in here.
Oh. Blow it, capiche?
man, you
I forgot to put the video embed in the post on the GoNintendo.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
You're fired.
Well, see, here's the thing.
It's my first day.
No more Go Nintendo podcast.
The thing is, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. When I put the video on the site, the embed for a live video has different code than a regular YouTube embed, and it doesn't include it has HTTP, but it doesn't have HTTPS. And if you don't have the S,
What?
if you don't have the S, that means it's not secure. And on our site, because we are HTTPS, our site is secure. So if you put the embed without the S, it just doesn't show up. It's a blank window because we're like, that's not safe.
Hey,
so
listen, can you see my screen? You good?
No, I can't see your screen. Okay. Yeah.
Is there something on that soundboard that just is like, all I'm hearing is a bunch of excuses?
I don't think we have anything that specific.
What?
Huh? What?
All right. First off, very important. Today's podcast is sponsored by Cellar Door Games because Cellar Door Games is having what?
Basement Door Games.
Basement Door Games. The Cellar Door Games is making their debut on the Switch this coming week on November 6th. They're having not one, but two games come on the Switch eShop. And I believe, Kirby, you've played one of them.
Really? Okay.
One of their games, I would say the one they're most well known for, is Rogue Legacy. Didn't you play Rogue Legacy on the PC?
I did. I'm trying to remember how far I got. I think I remember beating maybe one of the bosses.
It is very tough. Rogue Legacy is a roguelite where anyone can be a hero. Each time you die, your child will succeed you. Every child is unique. One child might be colorblind. Another might have vertigo. They could even be a dwarf. That's okay because no one is perfect and you don't have to be perfect to succeed. But you do have to be pretty darn good because this game is hard. Fortunately, every time you die, all the gold you've collected can be used to upgrade your manor, giving your next child a step up in life and another chance at vanquishing evil. I played this game on PC as well. I really liked it, but yes, it is super challenging.
It's a very unique mechanic.
I love the child mechanic. Is a really cool idea because sometimes you do get a bummer kid that sometimes like kids can't see color, right? Like
you just said
it.
They'll be colorblind.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry.
Yeah, just read
It's
it.
not just kids. Kids who are colorblind grow up to be adults who are colorblind.
That's not what I mean.
So
your child takes over. I'm talking.
Bummer
in this
kids
game,
grow up to be bummer adults.
Yeah, the kids in this game don't grow up. That's true. They just die.
They'll last like maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, right.
One monster.
One will make it. So yes, that's coming to the Switch on November 6th, but also same day is Full Metal Furies, which is also from them.
Furries. It's Full Metal Furries.
That's what a lot of people say it is, but it's not. It's a true co-op action RPG. Full Metal Furies.
True co-op?
What?
What's a false co-op? I don't get it.
True cooperative, which usually means like it's not just two players playing at once and you really do the same thing you'd be doing single player. This means you two have to work together. Like Chariot. Puts an emphasis on team play with unique combat system where everyone is important. Work together to defeat special enemies. String organic combos together to deal massive damage. And save a war-torn world that is battling itself to extinction. Play on the couch or online with friends and make it a party for up to 4 players. Or go solo and single player and show off your skills with a pick-2 quick switch system that retains all the nuances of multiplayer. I do want to point out that Full Metal Furies also comes out November 6th, and it will be 25% off from November 6th to the 25th. So Cellar Door Games debuting with 2 titles on the Switch on November 6th. Thank you so much to them for the sponsorship. And honest to God, I played Rogue Legacy as soon as it came out. Did they do a early access? I don't remember, but
I don't either.
As soon as it came out, I played it, and I really, really enjoyed that game. I have not played Full Metal Furies, but now I have a reason to. Also this week, we are sponsored once again by Nicholas because Save Me Mr. Taco is now available. So we told you last week it was coming, and you could get a special offer on it, but if you didn't get it at the special offer, you can still get it now, just more expensive. Mr. Taco, you know, the octopus.
Special offer is more expensive?
What? Special offer, now pay more.
If you didn't get it with the special offer, you can still get it now.
You can still get the game now without the special offer.
Okay.
Save Me, Mr. Taco. You solve puzzles, explore mysterious dungeons, and fight tenacious bosses on Mr. Taco's mission to end the war between the undersea octopus kingdom and the terrestrial human world. Will you help this brave octopus to spread his message of tolerance and teach both species to coexist in peace and unity. Save Me, Mr. Taco is available now. I'm sure you guys have seen some reviews about it, and the reviews have been very good.
If you didn't get it with this special discounted price,
You're too slow.
That's
you gotta
right.
pay full price now.
Boy, that's a very appropriate soundbite to play for this week. For a story we'll get into later on.
Oh.
So again,
news about the Sonic movie.
Thank you to Cellar Door Games as well as Nicholas for your sponsorship. I greatly appreciate it, and I am honored to promote. Well, I was going to say such excellent games, but I haven't played Full Metal Furies, although I've heard good
you don't
things.
have a reason to play Full Metal Furies?
No.
What did you say before?
That's what he said.
I can't say. I was going to say we're sponsoring excellent games, but I don't feel it's appropriate for me to say that. No. Oh, look, it's Nikki Hill not listening again. It's this
shut
new
up!
thing.
You read something yourself and then completely asked a question about it.
Listen, when I'm reading things, I'm in read mode, and then I like snap back out of it. I'm not saying it didn't happen because it did, but.
Hey, guess what? Whatever.
Hello, Roth and Drew, and It's a Trap, and Zeno Emblem, and Santiago, and Timothy Honeycutt, and Microbiter, and Omar, and It's a Trap, and Robert, and Roth, and Matt, and Mario Mania, and Giant Reggie. Thank you again to Giant Reggie for that heads up. And did I say Matt? It's happening again. See, I'm forgetting what I'm saying.
If it gets too cold,
And
we can shut the window,
Sarah,
friends.
and Turquoise Gold Scraper. Where's Namekian Clown? I'm not going to get that wrong again. Hello, Nintendo fanboy, and Corgan, and whoever else I didn't see in there. Thanks for joining us today. I greatly appreciate it. We got a lot of stuff to cover today, even before we get to the news. But we're doing it because you guys sent some stuff, so we're doing it. But first, before that, it's time for new segment.
Go Nintendo Podcast. New segment. Cool. New segment. Cool.
Thanks.
Thanks,
In the
Nikki.
chat is the link for this week's new segment. Cool. Also in the description of the YouTube video is the link for this week's new segment. Cool. Also in the post on GoNintendo, you can see the icon for new segment. Cool.
New section.
Also, if you all turn to your cell phones, we've just sent you a video or a text message with the image in it.
Hi,
Wouldn't that be
Reginilla.
Amazing.
That would be weird. We're doing one icon this week because we're so jam-packed, but it's one that I love.
Wait, we're only doing one this week?
Got him. All right, Mom Brain, can you please describe this icon?
All right. So what I'm looking at is sort of a light and dark blue checkered background. And on that background is a big orangey red moon. And under that looks like maybe Mount Fuji. This is all like drawn.
Mount Bougie.
Mount Bougie.
Mount Fuji with some smoke around it. And it looks like there is a text box in the middle of the sun where I'm assuming the title of the game probably is. But what really is featured prominently in this picture is a male sumo wrestler in traditional sumo attire. So you can see everything but his actual butt crack.
Mhm.
And he's actually larger than the mountain, the way the perspective looks.
Yeah,
right
it's like,
now.
that can't be Mount Fuji. It looks too small because that guy's so big looking.
So, basically you're looking at a sumo wrestler looking at Mount Fuji with a rising sun. in the
Thanks, Mom
background.
Brain.
My pleasure.
All right, guys, do you have anything to say about this icon?
I think Mom Brain covered most of it. What I'm curious about is like why he's looking at the mountain.
Well,
I'm
this
like,
is
I'll tell you.
Nikki Hill's got it.
Like,
He's not a sumo wrestler.
oh, okay.
In middle school, someone gave him an atomic wedgie.
Oh, wow.
And he's gone through his entire life trying to reverse the effects. And he's been on this journey, and he's now up above the clouds looking at the top of this mountain. And you would think that's a sun, but that's an aura from the Great One who lives on top of the mountain.
Oh.
And this gentleman is about to venture to the top of the mountain to remove the wedgie from his crack.
Only the great one can pull out this deeply forced
only
wedgie.
the great one has the wisdom.
The wisdom to remove a wedgie.
Without doing any extra damage.
Well,
Wait, I have an idea.
Okay, go ahead.
This is actually a sumo wrestler who has a dream to climb Mount Fuji, and it's a platformer. And you got to climb Mount Fuji in full sumo gear.
Okay.
Full sumo gear.
Full sumo gear.
Full sumo gear.
That would be more challenging, I guess.
What is that even called?
It'll get cold.
Like a piece of cloth.
Yeah, what is the name of that thing?
I mean,
come on, Kirby, you're a smart guy. Hi, Steel Diver.
Doesn't it start with like a B or something? Let me look at it.
How about instead of a kimono, it's a sumo?
No. Drew says it's called I Dream of Climbing Mountains. That's a beautiful title. No, guys. This is have fun with your friends with the great award-winning Circle of Sumo. Circle of Sumo is simple and compelling at the same time with a lot of different challenges. It's pure fun. Take control of 8 different sumo wrestlers and challenge your friends on daring fights and sport-based extra games. So basically, you are all sumo wrestlers, and you do try to push each other outside of the circle as you do in sumo wrestling. But there's also other modes where it's sumo people playing hockey or soccer or all other kinds of weird things. So you do a whole bunch of different things as sumo wrestlers. It is a sumo-focused game, and the name of the game is Circle of Sumo. I have to say, Mom Brain and Nikki Hill, I like your ideas better than the actual game.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead. These are icons, right?
Yes.
This icon does not encapsulate Circle of Sumo.
Well, there's a circle there, and there's a sumo guy, so I'd say it.
Oh God,
100% does it.
no. This looks epic.
No.
This looks epic. And what you just talked about was like
Yeah, it's like a party mini game. This is it's like a party game full of mini games. That's what this is. But yes,
like
the icon does look epic. I agree with that.
I bet you I can throw this sumo over the mountains.
Namekian Clown, I already said hello. I know you weren't here, but yes, I got your name right, and it's forever in my mind right now. I'm not going to say it wrong again. So there's new segment. Cool. Let's move on to an email from one of you guys. Hello, Nico Darunia.
Is this a new segment?
New email. Rad. This is from Luke. Luke says, I'm in the middle of listening to podcast 687, and I wanted to send over a quick note about something I heard. I appreciate Mom Brain encouraging people who are running while listening to the podcast.
Ah.
I only listen to the podcast while riding my bike back and forth to work, and she told everyone to pick up the pace. I pedaled faster for about 5 seconds. Then I realized that you can't actually see me or anything. So I slowed back down. Oh, well.
I'm proud of you, man.
Keep up the good work.
Proud of you.
Well, there you go.
For picking up the pace.
For 5 seconds, this guy picked up the pace because of what you said.
And I tripped and fell and hit my
That's
head
right.
on a rock.
I'll be sending the bills your way.
What was his name?
Luke.
Hey, Luke. I'm proud of you, man.
Luke Cage? Or Luke... Wait, what's...
I hope you have a great
Luke
day
Cage,
at work.
Johnny Cage. Never mind. So Luke Cage would be the Marvel character.
Luke Cage, Johnny Cage, Luke Cage. So I'm glad we cleared that up. HH Big Boss also sent me something on Twitter that we absolutely have to talk about, because this is probably the cornerstone of the entire Go Nintendo podcast for these 690 episodes. He let me know that. Oh, burping is good, but no.
This game looks ridiculous.
Oscar Mayer. This is Matt Reisman, brand manager for Oscar Mayer. He has said, we are ending the debate once and for all. And we're declaring that, yes, a hot dog is a sandwich. There you go. Oscar Mayer has declared it. And if anyone is going to be the aficionado on whether a hot dog is a sandwich or not, it's going to be Oscar Mayer. So,
well, I have to say, I think I might have forwarded one of these to you. There's a column on like the AV Club's website where they like ask random celebrities like if a hot dog is a sandwich, and I have to say both the the people who say yes and the people who say no, both sides have made compelling arguments.
But, well, whoever argued that a hot dog isn't a sandwich is wrong now because Oscar Mayer says it's a sandwich.
Well, but let's be real. They didn't invent. It's not like they invented hot dogs.
They invented whatever an Oscar Mayer hot dog is. Because
Sure.
I would argue that an Oscar Mayer hot dog is less meat than a real hot dog.
So what would you call, if you had to call it some sort of sandwich? I mean, you can't call it a hot dog sandwich.
It's just a sandwich.
It's a garbage sandwich.
A beef garbage sandwich.
It's all the leftovers.
Garbage tube sandwich. So thank you for sending that our way, HH Big Boss, obviously a longtime podcast listener. But now we know it's official. Oscar Mayer says it's a sandwich, and I agree with Oscar Mayer. But I do have to put this out there. Hello, Brado. Brado says, of course it's a sandwich. What else could it be?
I need to stretch my
As far as I'm concerned, Oscar Mayer hot dogs are great. I love Oscar Mayer hot dogs.
I hate hot dogs.
Oscar Mayer
I hate hot dogs.
or Friendly Frank?
They're
not sponsored.
I do Friendly Frank. Friendly Frank. I mean, because I don't know if Oscar Mayer puts milk in their hot dogs. And,
That's
Friendly's does.
whether
so.
you know or like you need to know before you declare a favor.
What do you mean?
This guy. I don't know if they put it in there. Friendly Frank's does, so that's my choice.
What am I not allowed? It's my opinion. What am I supposed to base it on?
Your opinion.
You asked me to choose between two hot dogs.
But you're basing it on the fact that you
That's a
know
difficult
one
question to
has
ask a
milk.
man.
Yeah, I don't know. So I said for right now, I'd have to pick Friendly Frank because I don't know about Oscar Mayer.
Well,
If they
I'm
have,
only talking about the taste.
I
said,
would,
"Oh,
I would,
Oscar Mayer's got a
I would
good hot
still
dog."
go Friendly Frank because I think,
If it's on taste alone, I completely support you.
yeah.
If you are going to say,
No.
I need to find out if there's milk in it, and that's going to make your decision, it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, well, taste alone, I will give it to Friendly's for their Friendly Frank.
We need a hot dog taste test. Blind.
No chewing. Just shoot him down the old throat. Like, what's that guy?
Hershey Wheeler? Isn't that his name?
Shoots him out. Yeah.
He's
Hello,
shooting
Antonio.
dogs. I love that guy.
Shooting dogs.
Wait, which guy? Is it the guy that eats the light bulbs?
No,
I'll
this
show
is
you.
some guy like in a trailer park. He's like out in the, if I remember correctly, he's out in the middle of a trailer park just showing people that he can shoot hot dogs down his throat. And then he's like, and like spits them back.
Can we try this?
You can. I do not want to die. Also, this is not a sponsorship. I was not asked to do this, but I do want to because I'm honored to have been a part of it. The guys at Scarlet Moon Productions, who do a whole bunch of albums that are related to game music, they do remixes and stuff like that. They reached out to me a couple of weeks ago to share an opportunity with me, and I jumped at the chance because it meant a lot to me. They have released Prescription for Sleep. Well, I should say they do a series of albums called Prescription for Sleep, which is soundtracks for games, but redone with like piano and violin and stuff like that. And I think they've had 6 others, so this would be the 7th installment in that. They just put out Prescription for Sleep, the music of Celeste, and everybody knows, everybody that listens to the podcast knows that I'm a big fan of Celeste. Hello, Autumnal Blake. I have to complain about you, Autumnal Blake. I'm a big fan of Celeste. I love the game itself, but I love the soundtrack as well. And they reached out to me and asked if I wanted to have an exclusive preview of one of the tracks for this album. And obviously I wanted to do that. So thank you to very, very much to them for sending that my way. I'm honored to be a part of that, and I am very excited to have been able to share that with you guys. This was before the album came out, but as of yesterday, the album is available, and you know, it's on everything, and you can stream it for free if you want. It's on Bandcamp and Spotify, and what's the other one? iTunes, and it's everywhere. It's called, again, it's called Prescription for Sleep, Celeste, Scarlet Moon Productions. The song that we had to preview on was Quiet and Falling in the Mirror, but the whole album's out now, so you don't need to hear the preview, but go check that out. It's a Celeste soundtrack in and of itself is fantastic. This cover album is great as well.
Let me know when you're ready for me to show everyone.
Lena Raine is the composer on Celeste, and she was nice enough to retweet this information to her followers, so thank you that, because that's just, thank you to her for that. That's just crazy. Yes, Mom Brain, go ahead.
Okay.
It's a hot dog shooter. The Northwest, I've never seen nobody be able to do this. I can do it quick. Okay?
Get ready.
I'm just saying.
He tried to catch it again.
We're gonna go viral with this one.
I'm just saying.
That's amazing.
Oh man, this is a whole package.
So many hot dogs.
He's shooting hot dogs. Hershey Wood, I think is his name.
Wait, this little
I wonder he loves them.
Yeah. Oh. And I like how
Tell
they just,
people the name of the video so they can look this
I
up.
just love how he's like in the middle of a parking
Oh
lot.
man, that is good.
It is
I don't think anybody in Northwest can do this. I'm just saying.
the fastest hot dog shooter in the trailer park. And his name is Hershey Wood. There's also a video called Hershey Wood Shoot Good Dogs, number 1 and number 2.
So
There are no dogs being shot.
I want to point out that while the noises you heard were certainly disgusting, the man is not puking when he shoots the hot dogs. He's literally just shooting the hot dogs back out of his stomach through his mouth. So there's no vomit or anything like that if you're
Can you see
disgusted.
it? How are we doing?
It's too washed down.
All right. Here.
So yes, if
So
you're
look
worried
it up
about there being
yourselves.
vomit or something, you don't have to worry about that. It's literally just the hot dog.
It's literally
coming back
just
out.
raw talent.
But it's like that guy Nikki Hill was talking about, the light bulb man. Yeah. He was on like every talent show for a million years before like talent shows were a real big thing.
We actually went to a taping of America's Got Talent in, I think, Newark or somewhere. Where the heck was I? And he did it there too.
Autumnal Blake, I said I have to call him out, and I will. Autumnal Blake, I followed him on Twitter. I don't know why. What spurred me on to follow him? He said something on Twitter, and I followed because I was like, why am I not following him? And I followed him, and he sent me a DM saying thank you for the follow. And as soon as I got the DM, I spilt soda all over myself, and I blame him. So I just wanted to point that out because he thinks he can get away with it, but he can't because he's a jerk. So don't follow him on Twitter because he'll make you. He curses people, is what I'm saying. Don't do it. I see you thinking about it.
No, I'm watching something on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Remember last week on the
Just waiting
podcast?
for you to get to the news.
Remember last week on the podcast when I was talking about how Nintendo's financial information was going to come out, and I said there's going to be those headlines out there. Autumnal Blake says you probably deserved it. Maybe. Hello, Deante. I said those headlines are going to come out that are all clickbait and all that crap, and I said I guarantee it's going to happen. Well, it did, of course, but to tell you the truth, it was much, much, much better than I thought it would be. I only found one really that was annoying, and I'll share it with you right now. Bloomberg put out an article. They've since put out another one that has another horrible title, but Bloomberg put out an article that says Nintendo misses estimates as lack of new games hits sales growth. Now, you would read that title and probably think that Nintendo had a bad quarter, which was not true at all. And I put together a list of why that's not true, and why this title I think is misleading. They say Nintendo misses estimates. That's not Nintendo's own estimates. That's just analyst predictions that they're talking about. Also, the Switch sold 3.2 million units during the quarter, which is up from 2.9 the same quarter a year ago. And then on top of that, Nintendo sold 24.2 million units of software this quarter, which is up from 13.9 a year ago. So remember a year ago when everybody was talking about how great the Switch was doing and how it's a phenomenon? The sales went up for the system and the software sales went up for the system, and Nintendo made money, and somehow Bloomberg puts together a title like that. So I just felt the title was misleading. But if you read the article, eventually they got to the actual details. So I just wanted to put that out there and say that's the kind of stuff you got to keep an eye out for, because I saw people talking about it on Twitter and I was like, their title is very misleading. Here's the actual information from Nintendo's financial report. So,
I mean, that's all analyst financial business
not
stuff.
all.
Sorry.
No, but it's they missed the mark. That's because there's people who are making claims, and then that's when people.
The thing is, people were talking about this, and they were like, I can't believe Nintendo missed their projections and refused to lower what their projections are. And I was like, Nintendo only made one set of projections, and that was at the beginning of the fiscal year. They never make they never make quarterly projections. They only adjust, and so far they have not adjusted. So the predictions that Nintendo themselves made are from 6 months ago. There's nothing new here. So Nintendo hasn't adjusted or changed. I haven't gotten to top stories yet. I'm still in my special email thing.
Oh, by the way, so it took me like 20 minutes to find this, but the apparently the loincloth traditionally worn by sumo wrestlers is called the mawashi.
Ah. Go ahead, Nikhil.
Yeah,
make the joke we're all thinking about.
Well, when it's tucked up in there, it needs more wash.
I gotta put this thing on, but before I do, I'm washing it. I'm washing it.
You know, up in the crack, it gets more dirty, so it needs more washing.
We're all a bunch of idiots. All right, now let's get to some top stories. Bethesda says, like how all three, or we knew right away what you're gonna do.
I like how Mom Brain just like.
Bethesda says Fallout 76 wasn't doable on Switch, but they are going to support the system more. This is Bethesda's Pete Hines, as in the ketchup. He says, the Switch is something I can say with certainty that's part of every conversation with every death we have now about what we're doing. Fire Marshal Bill, what we're doing going forward, because we consider it to be a viable platform. If the game will work on it, we want to be on every platform possible. Fallout 76 is not, because it just wasn't doable. So they say, yeah, we're doing more stuff for the Switch. Calm down. We've already announced some stuff for the Switch. We're doing
stop with this.
We're doing whatever that new Doom is called. What is it? Eternal?
Sounds right.
Doom Eternal is coming to the Switch, and they said the next Wolfenstein is coming to the Switch. Now, the next Wolfenstein
Whoa. That's another news story. Let's not go rushing things.
Is it?
It's the very next one, dude.
Okay. Cassidy.
The very next one, boo.
Cassidy on GoNintendo says, it barely works on the regular Xbox One as is. I have not been following the beta, other than Bethesda putting out a message saying, hi, Bjorna, good to see you.
Why did they put out a message saying that?
They put out a message saying this is a test. It's going to be really buggy. And I know people are like, this is so buggy. I can't believe it. Bethesda games are buggy, yes. But this is a test for a game. So I think bugs are completely fine. I mean, they put out a warning. I think it's a bit silly that they put out the warning.
The game will be slightly less buggy.
Yeah, that's the point to be made. Moving on, as Nikki Hill said, Bethesda says that the next Wolfenstein is coming to Switch. But here's the thing. Wolfenstein Youngblood was announced a while ago, but not confirmed for Switch. There was a GameStop listing for like a day and a half, and then it disappeared. But it's weird that he would say the next Wolfenstein game is coming to Switch, but not specifically say Wolfenstein Youngblood, because we know that's the name of the game. So maybe, Youngblood is a spin-off. And they are doing a next traditional Wolfenstein. So perhaps we're not getting Youngblood. We are getting the next Wolfenstein. That's, I don't know, because Mr. Hines did not clarify and has not further commented on the matter. So I honestly don't know. But something Wolfenstein is coming our way. Reynard says, don't give a good goddamn if you can't be bothered fitting the whole game on a cart. Well, that's right. You can't put the whole game on one cartridge and don't do the game at all. I don't agree with that. But
okay.
I understand it's annoying to buy a physical copy of a game and then have to download more stuff just to play the game.
Yeah.
But you know, even on other systems, stuff like that happens. Look at Red Dead Redemption 2. That was a 2-disc game, and then if you were doing the digital version of the game, yeah, you had 100 gig download roughly. And then another 50 gigs was needed for installation. So there's all kinds of storage weirdness going on other systems too. Maybe not to the degree, because there is more storage space and Blu-ray discs hold more than a game card, obviously. But it's not like anyone's exempt from all this stuff. Well, this was a rumor, but now it's confirmed. Diablo 3 Eternal Collection is getting an amiibo. I forget what it's called. It's like the Loot Goblin or something.
Wait, Diablo 3 is called Eternal too?
It's on here.
Diablo 3 Eternal Collection.
Okay. Default generic amiibo, Treasure Goblin. And
there you go, Treasure Goblin.
There's a Diablo Eternal and a Doom Eternal.
That hasn't surfaced yet. but the Goblin has, which I guess we'll talk about later. All right, here's a rumor for you, and I have a little something to interject on my own. So, Adi Shankar is the producer of the Castlevania series on Netflix, which first season was very highly reviewed by critics and fans alike. Second season has done even better. Hello, Backseat Gamer. Thanks for joining us. And Netflix has now officially greenlit a third season of 10 episodes, so it's doing quite well.
How many episodes was the second season? 4 again?
It was,
No.
it was 8.
8?
So, yeah, twice the length of the first season.
8. And many people consider this to be the best adaptation of a video game outside of, video games, because there hasn't really been a good movie or TV show adaptation of any video game.
The bar is pretty low.
Yes. But the bar is pretty low. But with that said, Castlevania is actually good. It's not like saying this is the best of the worst, but it's still bad. Like I used to say the Mortal Kombat movie was the best of the worst, but it's a bad movie. But Castlevania is legitimately good.
I thought it was okay.
So, rumor has it. Well, no, we won't do the rumor part. We'll do the fact part first. Mr. Shankar says that on November 16th, he will be revealing a collaboration with an iconic Japanese gaming company. And he is turning one of their iconic franchises into a series. He didn't give any other specifics besides that. Iconic gaming company. So the rumor is it's Nintendo and he's working on The Legend of Zelda.
Oh my god.
I really don't find that too hard to believe. I think this is...
It could be...
This is spot on.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yes, the famous Japanese company, Naughty Dog. Or I guess we could say Activision. So neither answers are correct.
I mean, okay.
They're not Japanese companies.
No, but it's a Sony franchise.
No, it's not.
What else is it on? Everything?
The latest Crash Bandicoot is on the Switch, and more Crash Bandicoot games have appeared on Nintendo platforms than did Sony platforms.
No. Really?
I should say, let me correct this. More Crash Bandicoot games have appeared multi-platform than have been just exclusive to Sony. After Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, 3 and Racing, I'm sure the brand went to Activision and they made it multi-platform. Crash Bandicoot was on the GBA and the DS. And
show.
Okay. I mean, it depends on whether you'd call Sony a Japanese iconic gaming company. You would certainly call them Japanese and certainly call them gaming. Iconic? I don't know. They certainly have a great legacy of games.
You said the Sony PlayStation.
Knack 2 says Bjorn.
PlayStation has replaced Nintendo as the
de facto term for video games in general. Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay. So we're going to find out what this is November 16th, no matter what. But yes, the rumor is he's tying up with Nintendo for a Legend of Zelda series. We will certainly find out. And here's the tidbit I have for you. I had the chance to interview Mr. Shankar. Hello, No Filter. And I sent him a whole bunch of questions. And I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm just going to ask him about it. So I put a question in there about this rumor. And I said, is there any kind of information you can potentially give us or any hint or anything like that? So if we get the results of the interview back before the 16th, I will share that with you and we'll see what he has to say.
See, that's the trouble with doing email interviews rather than on the phone or over Skype or something. You could react in different ways and you could read that and be like, ooh.
I don't have time for a phone call. And even when you do phone calls like that, this is what happens. You ask a question and the PR person or the company manager that's on the line goes, oh, they're not talking about that today. And then that's all there is to it. So,
Or just the technical difficulty screen comes up.
NS Glasses Official is apparently in the chat. I don't know if they really are the official company. Well, wait, you can't fake YouTube names like that, can you? Unless you make... Oh, you can. Whatever. If it's you guys, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
Who is that?
The NS Glasses people with the visor thing that are apparently sending me when they get one in, which I'm very excited to wear on the podcast. I can't wait to do that. If it's really you, thank you for joining us. Mystic has the first comment, and he says, remember when there was a rumor of a live-action Game of Thrones type Zelda series a few years ago, and everyone was acting like it was practically confirmed and a sure thing? Is this what that turned into? A new animated series seems way more believable, though. Would be cool to see one with actual effort behind it. Very interesting if true. I do want to point out that Mr. Shankar doesn't only exclusively work in animation, although I would agree it's probably an animated project they're talking about here. But again, November 16th, we'll find out. And I forgot I was going to do this. This is for the podcast.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, guys.
Also, let it be known that this is not a gun household. We do not condone guns or weapons.
Condone this.
Nor do we support any organizations that do that.
This is for whatever it's called.
Stop pointing it at us.
Cabela's
Big Game Hunter?
Big Game Hunter.
No. That's not the name.
Trophy buck hunting.
Big Mother Trucker.
Big Mother Buckers. Let me look up what it is. I want to get the name right. I think it is.
It's not Big Buck Hunter?
No. Because that was when Activision had the brand.
Large Deer Hunter. Large Deer Killer.
This is called
Large Deer Murderer.
Cabela's The Hunt Championship Edition there. I want to make sure I got the name right. No, I have not played it yet, but
you got the peripheral.
I have been playing with this, and they sent me the fishing one too, which is so obviously you put the Joy-Con gear.
Wait,
you know what's really cool?
The peripheral, but not the game.
They did. I just haven't played it yet. This week was financial stuff from Nintendo and a Smash Brothers Direct and a Treehouse Live and playing with my toy gun. I was gonna say it's really cool. You put the Joy-Con here, and the trigger on the Joy-Con, like the shoulder button, is your trigger for the gun. I was like, that's a pretty cool idea. Obviously, the Joy-Con doesn't have an IR sensor, so I don't know how well this is going to work at aiming, which I'm intrigued to find out. But
they did something like that with the Wii mode, right? Where it was like a pistol, and you would use.
Yes, they did, except that had the IR camera, so the sensor bar and all that. Why didn't they do? There's no IR sensor or anything like that.
There is one on the one.
There's the IR camera. There's nothing to point that at the TV and track it. Like you don't have a sensor bar on your TV to track with.
No, but that's a camera, right? So it would be able to see things on the television.
Technically, yeah, but it'd have to you'd have to have an extremely washed out image because that's like it's doing like heat vision. So like it'd have to be like glowing red deer with like a bright blue heart or something, huh? That's how you load. You got to cock it to slide into shells.
Or you just tip it down, right?
I'm sure you could do that too if you wanted to be not cool.
Says the guy who, what game was it that you were playing? And they're like, you have to stand up for this. And you're like, no, I don't.
Listen, you to dance, you don't have to use, well, I guess it wasn't dancing. It was exercise. So you're right. I have no answer. You're absolutely right. It was supposed to be punching and kicking or something. Whoa. All right. Let's talk about Nintendo's fiscal year / it's really their second quarter 2019 fiscal results. Oh my God, Kat.
Oh God.
Oh. So we're going to talk about, thank you. We're going to talk about how Nintendo did in this quarter. We're going to give you the basic rundown. 3,019,000. Well, 3.19 million, we'll say. Huh?
They missed the mark.
That's according to Bloomberg, yes. 3.19 million Switch units sold during the quarter. That puts the 6-month total for this fiscal year at 5 million. And if you are worried about that as the total, I want to point out that that is trending ahead of what Nintendo did last year for the Switch. So again, as long as you know the numbers, then things are looking very good. Nintendo did better.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
The thing is, Nintendo, their own prediction or projection for sales in this fiscal year is 20 million Switch units sold. And I forget what their software is. Software, they're going to hit no problem at all, without a doubt. Hardware, 20 million a year. 20 million in this fiscal year. I don't know if they're going to make that. Last year during the holiday season, Nintendo sold over 7 million Switch units. I think Nintendo's going to end up somewhere around, 15 million units sold for the fiscal year. So I do think they're going to miss their mark, but I think they're going to do well. It all depends on how many non-Switch owners are going to be motivated to pick up a system for Smash Brothers or Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Because I would imagine most Switch owners, you're a pain in the butt. I would imagine most Switch owners now already have the intention of getting Smash Brothers, but I'm sure there are plenty of players who have been holding out on getting a Switch for Smash Brothers. So we'll find out. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is a little different. It's going to do well. I don't know how well it's going to do because it's one of those games where you can't really track the expanded audience. So traditional gamers are interested, but not like foaming at the mouth for it like they are with Smash Brothers. But there's a whole expanded audience that I honestly don't know about. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I don't know. They're going to have a good holiday season no matter what. But me personally, I don't think they're going to hit their 20 million sold fiscal year goal.
Right now,
You are I can't believe it. I can't believe it. This cat.
There's a chill in the air. It's windy out.
Like right on the USB where both the microphones are.
It's warm.
All right. So life to date, the Switch has sold 22 million units so far, just shy of 23 million units. And to put that in perspective, the Switch, in however many months it's been, has it been 2 years of Switch? No.
I don't know. You're Nintendo.
March to March, and then another March. No, we're not at 2 years yet.
2 years.
It'll be their fiscal year ends in March, so we have until March for the second year to end. Just put things in perspective, the Switch sold roughly 23 million units, and the Switch has officially outsold the entire lifespan of the Nintendo 64.
Unfortunately, though, they missed their mark.
They missed their mark. So that means the next one is the GameCube. No, that's not true. No, I'm sorry. They beat sales of the GameCube. The next one they're looking to beat is the N64. So I think the N64 in total install base worldwide was 32 million, 33 million, something like that. So I don't know. They're going to beat that number, no problem. I just don't know when. I would say within another year of starting now, they'll do it without a doubt. But so the obviously the Wii U has been beaten, and the GameCube has been beaten now. So
he's doing some huffing and puffing here.
Yeah, because he's working real hard to push the laptop off the table. I'm holding it with my hand. He's got half of it off the table. We have million sellers and all that stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Nintendo sold 24 million units of software just in this quarter alone, and that's only with the Switch. Life-to-date software sales on the Switch is 111 million already. And they're forecasting for this fiscal year alone 100 million. Definitely going to happen, without a doubt. No problem. 3DS obviously is not doing so hot, but Nintendo knows that's the case, and they're still making money on it. They sold another 640,000 units this quarter. In the last 6 months, they've sold 1 million units. Life to date, they've sold 73 million 3DS units. They're forecasting 4 million sold for this fiscal year, so they've done 1 million already. They're looking for another 3 million, and during the holiday season, I think they can pull that off. If you'll remember, it was either last year or the year before. I think it was last year. There was a 3DS shortage because so many stores had such good deals on it that people scooped them up like crazy. We'll see if that happens again because I think that's a top story later. I'll get to that later. Blah, blah, blah. We don't need to do all that.
Instead of fiscal year, can you call it Fiddlesque year?
The NES Classic Edition and Super Nintendo Classic Edition sold a combined total of 3.69 million units in the quarter. Digital business is up by 71% year over year. Mobile business is up 4.7% year over year, but that is because Pokemon isn't included in that stuff anymore. Nintendo's just talking about the games where they're the main developer, and they're seeing the bulk of the profits. Blah, 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 blah. We got all the other very specific sales data if you want it, like net profit and operating profit. And operating profit went up, net profit went up, net sales went up, all around. Then you have your updated million sellers list. The best-selling Switch game right now is Super Mario Odyssey with 12.1 million units sold. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did 11.7 million units sold, so that's going to catch up. Breath of the Wild on Switch alone has sold over 10 million units, and so on and so on. There were 9 million sellers in this quarter alone, including Nintendo and third-party titles. I think that's all we really need to talk about with all that. In their release schedule, which they always put out with each of their fiscal things, we learned that Dragon Quest Builders 2 is being localized and will be published by Nintendo in North America and Europe. So that game is getting localized. We know for sure now. Shillelagh says, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Switch sales are down a bit. You're wrong. And Nintendo have lowered their overall projected sales total. You're wrong. The software sales, though, are very impressive. Yes, both of those. I am correcting you, Shillelagh. You are incorrect, but hopefully you don't take offense to that because you asked to be corrected.
Well, can you correct him? Tell us the real numbers then.
I already talked about it. He doesn't give any numbers. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Switch sales are down. You're wrong. They're up. And Nintendo have lowered their overall projected sales. You're wrong. They did not change their projections. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. And like I said, compared to this same quarter last year, they're up compared to that too.
Money.
Listen, when Nintendo's not doing well, I have no problem talking about it. It doesn't bring me joy to talk about it, but I tell you what's actually going on. This quarter, they did well.
It's not like you're a Michael Pachter type or something.
God damn it. We did that. Nintendo's president says he wants more DLC for games that are out there already. This is their new president. This is Shuntaro Furukawa. I want to point that out.
Thank you.
He says, well, people think it's still the other guy, Tatsumi Kimishima, but he is out. And Mr. Furukawa is in, the younger guy. Because Tatsumi Kimishima was only supposed to be the placeholder president.
Okay.
Interim president, yes, while, after Iwata passed. Mr. Furukawa says, we need continuous growth. We must keep releasing new software. That includes DLC and other content for big titles that are already out, and more focus on online play. Lastly, more genres and diverse games to draw in people who don't currently play on Switch. Pretty basic statement, but I think it's important.
So we can be looking forward to more playable content for games such as, what is it called? Big Hunter? What is it?
Cabela's The Hunt.
The Hunt.
Big Game Hunter is dead. Activision no longer has the rights to the franchise unless they pick it up.
Nobody
again.
has the rights to Big Hunt.
Cabela's Big Hunt. I guess not. There might be a reason why they're not doing it. That old dirty joke. Captain Kamikaze says
the joke was Mike Hunt.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, yes, but also Big Hunt can sound
very
bad
close,
too.
It took me off guard for a second. When
It's either mine or Big. Big Mike.
Why'd you say it twice?
Big Mike Hunt.
Big Mike Hunt.
Captain Kamikaze says, couldn't agree more. Nintendo has done Doc, I think he means DLC, fairly well so far, and I'd love to see them carry on with this. Give me more Mario Kart 8 DLC and get cracking on that Smash Brothers Season Pass. As long as it's done well, I'm all in. How about some Super Mario Odyssey?
Hurry up already!
Oh my God, Mario himself agrees. How about some Super Mario Odyssey DLC, some new levels or a new kingdom? I mean, a new kingdom.
Meanwhile, the president is
Thank
like,
you so much for playing my game.
the president is like, oh no. Like the people over at Nintendo are working hard on other content. We just want DLC from other companies. Get on that.
You guys start working on that. Their president also says that he knew 20 million Switch units sold this fiscal year would be a challenging target. But he says, from the beginning, we decided on a target that would be challenging to reach. Not easy. The holiday season battle begins now.
Oh my God.
That's what he said. That was him talking. So yeah, like I said, my estimate is going to be 15 million units sold in the fiscal year. So that would mean between now and March 2019, they will sell another 10 million units. Nintendo is projecting they will sell another 15 million, or roughly 14 million and change. Orion says, oof, that's quite a drop from last year in sales. I don't understand. I'm not surprised Nintendo failed to maintain its momentum with the Switch. This year has been absolute garbage in terms of game releases. That's the top-rated comment.
What was that sales last year? Was that in the fiscal thing that you talked about?
You're really going to make me go back and for a third time do this.
I'll go back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not. I'll go back with you. It's right here.
Wait, fiscal year 2019. We're in 2018.
The
This whole thing is wrong.
You have to click on the link at the bottom, the very bottom.
To see last year's numbers.
I mean, we do have them on the site somewhere, but and also there, if you want to go to their actual, like, if you click that link, you can get the link to their PDF that will give you the very specific details. Again, net sales, operating profit, and net profit are all up. And the quarter sales last year, if my memory is correct, were something around 2.98 million. All I know is for a fact the Switch sold more. Now, obviously, the 3DS is doing worse. So if they're talking about that, then that could be true, yes. But I mean, here's the thing that you could say. Nintendo continues to show growth, but it's slowing. You could say that. That's certainly true because the 3DS is not doing anywhere near as well, and the Switch isn't like skyrocketing. But this is for quarter 2, and we don't have the 2 holiday heavy hitters out yet that are certainly going to spur. There's
Whoa, what heavy hitters do we have coming?
Jesus Christ. Are you really asking this?
Eevee and Pokemon?
Eevee and Pokemon, yeah, both of them.
What else is there?
Smash Brothers.
Oh.
What's Smash Brothers?
Bro.
Are you real? Is this a joke?
It's a Smash Burger franchise.
Is this a joke? I want to know, for real.
It's like Burger Time.
Smash Burger Time.
I forgot.
What are you doing? Like, where are you?
I'm looking at GoNintendo.
All right.
I played a little Toon Blast.
Yeah.
Hey,
get this guy away.
Me?
No, not again.
Come on. Come on.
Thank you, Mom.
Push that chair in.
Nintendo says they have no plans to move further into the esports business. All their holiday titles are now announced, and no additional surprises are coming. So you have your holiday lineup set in stone. Nintendo's IP will not appear in
like
what?
Smash Brothers.
Yes.
Games like Eevee and Pokemon.
Wait, Smash Brothers Ultimate. What is it called? Super Smash Ultimate Brothers.
Super Smash Ultimate Brothers. Yeah.
The only
like
place they can go from there is new Super Smash Brothers, right?
Hi, Brian. Oh, Brian. That's Brian.
Like Mr. Brian?
No.
Oh.
I don't want to say last names.
Oh,
because he says Commander Cheese in the chat, and he is the only one that would know that.
That's all you had to say.
Hi, Brian.
Hi.
I lost my place. Nintendo IP will not appear in Dragalia Lost. Greater than 50% of Switch Online users bought the annual plan. That's including both the family and the solo. So people went and they were like, I want the 12-year plan for $20. So more than 50% of the people did that. And Fortnite is still doing well. But we have more on that. I don't remember. I think I made it a top story. I'll just talk about it now. Nintendo said that they said almost half of Switch owners, all Switch owners, have Fortnite on their system. Whether they play it, I don't know. But almost half. So that would be, we'll say 11 million units or 11 million people, like 10.9 million people.
I don't have Switch Online.
But you don't play anything online. What does it matter?
I mean, I haven't played anything. Period.
Is that bad?
Okay. So, am I bad? What have you been playing lately? Oh, we'll talk about that
What do
later.
you play online?
Me
Fortnite?
personally, or in
Fortnite?
general? No, Fortnite. You don't have to have Switch Online for.
What do you need Switch Online for then?
Splatoon 2, Mario Kart.
Wait, there's a Mario Kart on the Switch? Got him.
And other things. Like, we'll say the majority of games that have online play will require Switch Online. Fortnite doesn't, A, because it's free, B, because Epic can do whatever they want. So if Epic's like, we don't want to do it,
really? They
don't
can,
have to do it right now.
I guess it pays to have a name like Epic.
Pays to have a game like Fortnite. That's what it is.
Did Fortnite meet its quarterly estimate or whatever it's called?
I don't know if Epic does.
Did you say Bestimate?
Bestimate.
That's what I thought I heard.
We beat our estimate, which we now call Bestimate. I don't know if
Proprietary.
I don't know if they make projections. I'm sure they make a projection for player growth in each quarter. I don't know. I don't follow Epic closely enough to know when they put out their financial reports.
Or did they just kick back and go like, hey, I'm going to go swim in the money vault?
I mean, any company with like a property that size, I'm sure their investors are expecting them to do projected growth or what's the opposite of growth? Projected shrink.
Yeah.
Shrinkage.
Projected shrinkage. Projected audience shrinkage.
Yeah, why don't they call it financial shrinkage?
I think because investors might get mad. So again, just to point this out, Switch growth is continuing, but at a slower trend. But we haven't gotten to the holiday season yet, so it's kind of silly to talk about that. And obviously, Switch owners know the amount of big-name heavy hitter games that came out this year compared to the first year was not as many. Because first year was Mario and Zelda and Splatoon and a host of others in there. And this year has not been that big as far as big-name stuff, except Smash and Pokemon are coming. And then next year, from what I can see, is going to be another year of heavy hitters. You're going to kick things off with Yoshi, which they haven't given a date for yet, but it should be in the first quarter of the year, it looks like. You're going to have, most likely, you'll have Metroid or Bayonetta, one or the other.
Metroid?
I don't know which one. Yeah, Prime 4.
Okay.
Wow, that's happening.
I'm leaning more towards Bayonetta 3 than Prime 4. Maybe
did they
both.
Say who's making that? Is Retro making that?
Bandai Namco, I think, is involved. On top of, God, I had an Animal Crossing is coming to Switch next year. That's definite. The new core Pokemon RPG is coming to Switch next year. So that's 4, potentially 5 big name titles right there. Also, as Omar says, Mario Kart, but that's not coming to Switch. Mario Kart Tour is coming to mobile next year as well. So that'll be another big thing for Nintendo.
And
potentially big
quick
thing.
question.
Fire Emblem. Yes, Santiago's got another one. The new Fire Emblem game coming to Switch.
The Nintendo World or Nintendo Land thing for Universal.
Yeah.
Was that pushed back to 2020? Or beyond that?
Technically, yes, but they're doing staggered because it's not just like Florida; it's Japan as well.
Do you
plans are
so
bigger?
They would probably, if
that.
they're going to do a tie-in with a franchise, like if they were going to do an animated film,
Yeah,
that would probably be theatrical, right? To tie in with that, like if they have a relationship with Universal or whatever, Illumination.
you would think.
That would be cinematic and not just a franchise from a very well-known.
What are you talking? We know for 100% fact that a Mario movie is in the works from Illumination, animated. We know that.
Okay.
Hey, I got it.
When that's coming out, I don't know, but it would seem to make sense to tie in with like go see the movie and then we'll promote it at the park too.
Well, I mean, that's
That's just
I'm
business
just thinking, I'm
savvy.
just wondering if that was going to tie in somehow with the Netflix series or something. If there was something
Well, we got to find out what this is potentially. If it is Nintendo, like you said, it could be Sony. Here's something else from Nintendo's financial data that was really funny.
What about Sega? It's probably Sega.
Mario Kart. See, now that fits.
Yeah.
That's iconic. That's Japanese. That's a gaming company. That fits.
What's a Sega?
But the Sonic movie's already coming out, which we're all very
I
excited.
mean, Sega
for.
has
Sure.
other franchises, right?
Yeah,
Like what?
none as popular as Sonic, but yes. The new Streets
Altered
of Rage is
Beast,
coming out. Altered Beast.
Streets. What would
Billy
you think,
Hatcher.
What would you think about Streets
Sega
of Rage?
bass fishing or bass fishing? What?
What would you think about Streets of Rage
High Swedish Galaxy.
series? Be pretty kick-ass, huh?
Oh, animated. You're asking.
Yeah.
If .mu, however you say the name, if they were doing it, yeah.
If they just walk out and they're like, and like the entire series, just a bunch of people just going out and kicking butt on the streets. Raging on the streets.
Zeno took time to type. Hello, ZX Billy. Zeno took time to type up something that I want to read here. Oh dear Lord, help me.
How many paragraphs?
No. I clicked something by accident. Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion, Yoshi, Pokemon, Bayonetta or Metroid Prime 4, Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10, 12, Smash Brothers DLC. That's all in 2019, and that's what we know so far. I forgot about Luigi's Mansion 3. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, 2019, it's going to be crazy. It's very clear Nintendo was like, we want to hit hard with the Switch when it comes out and give them some really big
Let
games.
it peter off. We want our sales to dip.
Well, see, that's...
We don't want to make projection numbers.
They had...
And then we'll shoot it through the roof in our third
They
year.
had other titles in there that were multi-million sellers. It's just that... I don't know if a lot of Nintendo fans are like Mario, Zelda, Metroid, and then they're like, I don't care about anything else. So like Super Mario Party came out, the Kirby game came out. Both of those games are Super Mario Party already sold 1.5 million, which is a lot because it just launched. And Kirby's a multi-million seller already too.
Oh, the
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, the port of that came out. A lot of people are like, I don't want a port. I already played it. That already sold over 1 million units. So it was a smart decision to bring that over. Unfortunately, a lot of Nintendo fans think they're the center of the universe and only what they want is what people care about. But
nothing else has like the right to exist.
Titles, things like Nintendo Labo and Super Mario Party are important to the market.
And everyone flocks to him.
What the hell does that have to talk
You're
about?
the center of our universe.
Anyway, as I was going to say, this is funny from Nintendo's financial data. Mario Kart Wii sold another 40,000 units during this last fiscal quarter.
Who is selling Wii games?
I think somebody in the comments said that, like, who is selling new copies at retail? Walmart always gets new copies of really weird games. Not that Mario Kart Wii is weird. Obviously, it's not weird. They sold 40,000 units of that game, which came out 10 years ago.
40,000 absolute units.
Mr. Life says,
You know what that means? There are 40,000 grandmas who are unaware that the Switch is a thing.
Yeah, right. Mr. Life says, that's pretty impressive for a 10-year-old game. I still can't get over the fact that 2008 was 10 years ago. Yeah, that game came out 10 years ago. How crazy is that? We have the Nintendo second quarter 2019 financial briefing recap, which is the presentation that Nintendo gives. You can read that on your own if you want, but I'm going to pick out the biggest details, which I made their own post.
Oh no, he's back. Give me that gun.
This guy. I hate this guy. We'll get to that in a minute, but first we have to get to Kirby's favorite story of the whole week.
Oh, shut up.
There's a new Bubsy on the way, and it is coming to Switch. It's called Bubsy Paws on Fire.
Look, I've told you this numerous times.
Oh, wow, it looks great.
I liked Bubsy when I was a kid. I didn't know what I was doing back then.
Bubsy is back in his greatest adventure yet, featuring 4 playable characters and their own unique playstyles, new moves never before seen in a Bubsy title, and over 100 levels. Paws on Fire is Paws on Fire. It's a game for Bubsy lovers and haters alike. See, a game for Bubsy lovers and haters alike. Here's the thing, people. Don't poo-poo this game because this is made by Choice Provisions, the runner people. And Accolade is publishing.
I can't believe Accolade is still around.
Right. I believe they were dead for a while and then came back. Because they were like, the world needs Bubsy.
The world needs Bubsy.
The world needs Bubsy. Jumpman FR says,
when you come back from the dead, you have to regain all of your speech.
Jumpman FR has a top-rated comment, and he says, I hope it's not a good game, because that wouldn't be faithful to the source material. It's a great comment. Yeah, I was like...
possibly go wrong?
That I need for the soundboard.
Yeah, right.
Yes, Bubsy games were of dubious quality, we shall say. But Choice Provisions working on this, and it looks like a runner in the style of their runner games. I'm on board. I watched the trailer, and I was like, this looks like a runner game. And then I read the press release, and I was like, oh, that's why it looks like a runner game.
Is it? It's fully like on rails or whatever? Like
it's what it seems like. It seems like Bubsy runs on his own, yeah. It just won't have... I imagine it wouldn't have a musical element to the gameplay. It'll just be an auto-runner platformer.
Oh my God, he still talks.
Well, you can't have a Bubsy game without the annoying cat talk.
I guess not.
We talked about that. We talked about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Nikki, could you stop
I'm
playing
done.
that?
Stop.
Super Mario Run is nearing 300 million 300 million downloads. Can you believe it?
No. Yeah.
It's almost been 2 years since the game is out. It's nearing 300 million downloads, and it is an evergreen Nintendo title for everyone, according to Nintendo themselves. 300 million downloads. What Nintendo did not say is how many of those are paid customers. But still, your brand getting in front of 300 million people is good. Hammer Glade Bro says, I'd buy it if Google's pay system wasn't so weird. I don't know a thing about it, so I can't help you. Long-time friend of the site, Paul Gale, sent us a little scoop-de-poop on what's going on with Nintendo. Apparently, there's a collaboration between Nintendo and Universal, which we already know they are working together, but this is something they haven't announced yet. There's Nintendo NY, while rumor is there's going to be Nintendo Hollywood. Finally, a second store for Nintendo on the opposite coast. I think that makes a lot of sense. Rumors it's going to take over the Saddle Ranch location on Universal City Walk, so they'll shut that down.
Is it Lon Lon Ranch or what is it?
Lon Lon Ranch, that's right. They'll shut that down and open up this Nintendo store. And apparently this will be revealed on November 16th. Well, isn't that interesting?
That's when
Mr. Shankar is revealing something on that date,
it's
too.
a Nintendo.
And on top of that, for a few weeks
show.
now, there's been a rumor of a Nintendo Direct on the 16th before either of these things came out.
Just call this guy Alex Jones over here. He's all into the conspiracy theories.
He's all into making the frogs gay.
The numbers line up.
Turn the frogs gay. Zachro says, I hope we get a Nintendo store in LA. I am jealous that New York has one. Well, Zachro, Paul Gale knows his stuff, so I'm going to say this is pretty much going to be a done deal.
So I never told you. When I went to Universal about a month ago.
Universal or Universal Circus?
I don't think that's around anymore.
Oh.
Universal.
Never mind.
In Florida.
We never went.
They don't do circuses anymore.
Man, you threw me off. There's a store that is at City Walk, and it has a. Man, okay,
I'm listening.
No, you're not. You're just farting around.
There's a store at City Walk is the only piece of information you said so far.
But I keep getting distracted by your shit.
You said I'm not listening. I am.
Well, I can't listen to myself.
Okay, I'll sit here.
That's part of the problem.
Quietly.
So there's a store, and it's mostly like little tchotchkes and stuff, and then a bunch of art stuff and everything. And there's like this whole section of shelves that was Nintendo characters and like Nintendo related things. I may have taken a photo.
Nintendo saw it and they were like, you know what we should do?
No, but I mean, it's just like, you know, in Florida, it's not like a huge inclusion thing, but it's specifically Nintendo, you know, memorabilia or whatever on this one.
Official?
I don't know. I mean, it looks it.
Oh, well, they tried to. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
It's manufactured. It's not like somebody just
some guy painting stuff. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is getting an update to broaden the scope of gameplay. Nintendo says details will be announced closer to the time of the update. And how? What are these changes? We don't know because it's the way Nintendo talks. So just something big is coming. DT Foe says, fingers crossed this means cross-functionality with Animal Crossing on the Switch. I don't think they would add that in yet because I really don't think we're going to see Animal Crossing hit the Switch that soon. It's going to be 2019, but I wouldn't imagine it would be like... I don't know. Animal Crossing is big enough to be a holiday title for Nintendo. I don't know if they'll wait that long or not, but...
also, just think about it.
We did that.
If Nintendo is going to be releasing information on November 16th, other companies might want to combat that information. So they're going to be like, you know what? We got a Square Enix brand game TV show coming to Netflix, everybody.
Nothing like showing a platform holder that you support them by scheduling an announcement on the same day to pull eyes away. Like Sony and Microsoft might do. Sony would do that. Microsoft wouldn't.
No, but it's
Square Enix won't. They're getting that. They're getting their bread buttered by Nintendo. Octopath Traveler was a big hit for them.
Is that the one with the dad who's an octopus?
That's the one. Yeah, it goes on an amazing adventure.
Octodad Traveler.
I always think about that when you talk about it.
Said that. This is really cool, actually. Sega is working on the Sega Ages line for the Switch. Some of those titles are out already. They're bringing some more over. They're going to do a season 2 as well. But there was an interview with some really interesting tidbits. It's a very long interview, but I'm going to give you the juiciest parts here. Sega says they went from maybe to definitely bringing over Dreamcast games to the Switch as part of the Sega Ages line. They didn't say what games, they didn't say when, but they said definitely they are doing Dreamcast games. They also made a point of saying that they could do a Switch version of the Star Wars arcade game that Sega put out a long time ago. And I remember that arcade machine. It was like everywhere for a while. So they're saying they could do that, but obviously they'd have to be authorized to do it, and that authorization would have to include Sega and Disney. So I don't know if that would happen, but they are saying they can make it work technically.
One more push.
Also, on top of that, this is the really cool part. So the Sega Ages line takes games from Sega's history and reworks and revamps them and tries to make them the best version of that game.
Okay.
So new features, tweaks to gameplay elements, but they make sure to not change things up so much that they ruin what the original experience was. Perhaps there's options you could turn on and off to add in things, but they aren't necessary. Now, the really cool part is we know that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is coming to the Sega Ages line. And right now, the dev team is looking at stuff that Yuji Naka wanted to do with the original Sonic 2, but he couldn't because of the Genesis's limitations at the time. So they have these documents, and they're saying, with this Sega Ages launch, we might be able to implement some of those ideas that he originally wanted to and couldn't put in a game, which is really kind of crazy. So, like, his original ideas for the game, some of them were cut because they just couldn't work on the Genesis, and now Sega is going to revisit those ideas to potentially include in this Sega Ages version of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Well, it's not there anymore. Impure Kind says, this is all good news.
Now that he's out,
take that, Naka. Go back to making Ivy the Kiwi.
Let's do everything that he wanted to do that we wouldn't let him before.
Nintendo had a Smash Brothers Direct this week.
Because of the limitations of the system. He fell for it. That's them talking. That's Sega talking.
He fell for it. Yeah, so am I.
They made him believe.
You're saying they gave him fake hardware to make a game on?
Oh my god!
It was a big poop. He's going nuts.
Why is he moving the furniture?
Because he does so much lighter.
He turns the corner, runs as fast as he can, and runs upstairs, and then falls down the stairs.
He hits maybe 2 steps, maybe on the way down.
I was just about to say that.
What is going on?
I think he's done.
Match?
No, don't call him down here. I was just about to say we usually get the noise as well. There it is. Damn it! I wish I said it.
Yeah.
After a good one. After a good one. It was a good one. I'm sure we'll find out how good it was.
Because that's the same noise he makes after you feed him, too, right?
Yes, yes. He cries about food being done and poop being done.
Yes.
Yeah, no, Sega convinced him that it wasn't powerful enough. But now that he's gone, they can do everything that he wanted.
Why would they do that, though? What's the benefit?
Ideas, just to be dicks.
To get good ideas for their own game?
Yeah. Well, man, I don't
listen.
I
In
don't
20
pretend
years,
to understand them.
I just know.
I just get it. I get it. I don't get it, but I get it.
Nintendo had their Smash Brothers Direct this week. It's the final Smash Brothers Direct, so the game is coming out. You're not getting any more presentations on it. 2 new fighters were revealed for the game. The Pokemon Incineroar and the Street Fighter man, Ken. Incineroar has all of his moves are wrestling related, which I am all about. Everything he does is wrestling related, and Ken obviously has his moves from Street Fighter. We also learned about how there's going to be DLC characters for the game that are coming out in 2019, and the first character that will be DLC is the new fighter, Piranha Plant. The Piranha Plant in a pot will be a fighter on the roster through DLC. You can get the you can buy the DLC individually. Each character, he hops. Each character is. Or each bit of DLC is a character, a stage, and some new music all together in one. It'll be $6 per pack, or you can do the $25 deal, which is better than buying them all individually, which will get you all the DLC characters, whoever they might be. We don't know the details on that yet. They also revealed the World of Light mode, which they didn't give specifics on, but we know it is single player, and it looks absolutely crazy. If you haven't seen the trailer for World of Light, check it out. For all intents and purposes, this is like the evolution of Subspace Emissary from Brawl.
Oh, okay.
So basically, all the characters on the roster are hanging out on the side of a mountain as some attack is coming from a whole bunch of master hands, it looks like. But there's some new overall enemy called, I don't remember. Galeem. He's called Galeem.
Galeem.
He he sends out all these beams of light that chase down all the characters and kills them. He kills everyone on the roster. The only one that escapes
like Thanos or
is Kirby. Kirby is the only one to escape, and it is now up to Kirby to bring everyone back.
That's Galeem. It's like a big bird-looking thing.
It's like purple and red and blue or something. I'm Galeeb. Also, I want to point out that there's seeing the Nintendo characters killed off is sad and funny, but there's one that is heartbreaking.
I think they'll be back.
Absolutely heartbreaking. There's this scene where Sonic.
Is this what you're talking about? We're watching.
Yeah. Can you not stream stuff? Are you on Wi-Fi?
Oh, gosh.
Can you not do it with the sound on?
You should check it out. But don't check it out.
You can stream it, just not on Wi-Fi while we're doing the podcast.
My data. Fine.
Yeah. Okay. There's a heartbreaking moment where Sonic and Pikachu are seen running away, and it's very quick. But Sonic looks back at Pikachu and puts his hand out to help him, and then they're both killed. And Sega on the official, I think, Sonic Twitter account was like,
"You're too slow."
Sonic on the Twitter account was like, "Hey Pikachu, are you okay? Just checking," or something like that. So, it's great. It's great. I'm watching it again now too.
Maybe you shouldn't. You might cry.
Oh God!
Oh, they got incinerated.
I don't think he was reaching out.
He definitely is.
He was
100%.
giving him the finger.
Wow.
He said, "Hey, Pikachu."
Here's my version of the finger with my whole hand. Hello, Spike Caro 2.
How many fingers does he have? 4?
No.
4 FUs, Pikachu.
Who gives an FU with their thumb? That's a thumbs up. This is how I say FU with my thumb.
Hey,
defiantly upward.
Hey, Rami.
He gave me 5 fingers. You see this guy? That is funny.
Hold on. It looks like those squid kids just survived.
No, they didn't. You even see the ground crack. No one survives but Kirby.
What? How come Kirby survived?
He's the fastest one there. He uses the warp star to warp out of there.
Wait, he's faster than Sonic? Since when?
Kirby riding a warp star is faster than Sonic. Look at him go. Go, Kirby, go. Come on, you got this, bud. You got to do it. You got to save everybody, Kirby.
You know, if he was like riding and then like flew into one of the beams and killed himself.
Panurge Jr.
Oh, wait a second. They just destroyed the whole Earth.
Panurge Jr. has a top-rated comment, and he says, "I was not expecting Piranha Plant. For me, he's the strongest of all the fighters, and he's free. Think of everyone's wish list and hoping for such and such a character, but instead we got a polka dot plant in a pot. Genius." Yeah, a lot of people were upset about that. They're like, "I want Shrek, and I'm getting the Piranha Plant."
Oh, they don't kill them. They just capture them.
Their bodies are dead. And their spirits have been turned into evil. Basically, it's like a figurine or a statue that is imbued with the spirit of the character, but turned evil. So there you go. All right, North America, this week's digital downloads. What our friends in North America get?
Story mode for single player.
Pretty much what I said, but yes.
That is exactly what he said. But thanks for paying attention.
Switch eShop got Diablo 3 Eternal Collection, Moonlighter, World of Final Fantasy Maxima, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and Eevee can be pre-purchased right now. I hate when Nintendo does that. Don't sneak that in the releases. Can you turn it? You're close to the microphone. Can you turn it down, please?
It's so quiet.
It's so quiet. Also new this week is Pleasure Goals, Savage Rain, Alpha Mission, Brawlhalla. Comes out on the 6th. Carnival Games comes out on the 6th.
Victoria's Secret's new name, Brawlhalla?
Yes. Crick to Game is a puzzle game on November 7th. Deadbolt, Fly a Clock, Freaky Awesome, Full Metal Furies, Grip, Jeopardy, Kitty Love, Way to Look for Love, Machinarium. Nikki Hill, you played Machinarium, right?
I played it.
I did.
I did too, actually.
I also downloaded.
We all love that game, right?
The other game that they made, and I haven't played it.
Play that game if you have not. It's a great game.
What was the other game?
Minecraft Story Mode Season 2, Risk, Rogue Legacy, Shift Quantum, Skytime, Startide, Swap This, Tennis World Tour,
Can I say that? Skytime.
Transistor, Trivial Pursuit Live, and the most important one for last, Wheel of Fortune. It's America's game.
Perhaps that was the most important part.
Barry knows. I would imagine Barry is a Wheel of Fortune fan.
Oh, yeah.
He's older.
Gentlemen.
Whoa.
He's always home in time for the wheel.
My, this isn't working.
Oh, boy.
This isn't working.
I went to open a link to get the comments and it's not working. Oh, it's really not working.
The link's not working or the internet's not working?
I'm not on your internet.
I am on your internet.
Oh, is GoNintendo down?
Uh-oh. Site maintenance.
Yes.
That's what I said.
It's not working.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, that's all right.
Sabotage.
I still have to page up for the news. I can go through the news. I just
Listen up, y'all. It's a sabotage.
can't read the comments. Europe got Transistor. Save me, Mr. Taco. Grim Fandango Remastered, which I have to point out is also in North America, but they didn't bother to put it in a press release. I don't know why. Grim Fandango deserves a little more respect than that, Nintendo. So Grim Fandango Remastered is available in both Europe and North America. Autumnal Blake says it works for him, so I don't know what's going on with my phone. Diablo 3 Eternal Collection,
Not working on my
Tennis
computer.
World Tour Legends Edition, Marble It Up, Minute, Skyscrapers, Lego Harry Potter Collection, Mutant Football League, Sports Party, Risk, the Game of Global Domination, Trivial Pursuit Live, Deathmark, Hidden Folks, Knock Knock, Numbala, Bibby Bloxburg, Big Broom
Are any of
Race
these
3,
words?
These real games.
Pleasure Goal 5-on-5 mini
I
cycle.
have a
Pleasure goal.
Fairy Tale Puzzles, Johnny Turbo's Arcade. This is Johnny Turbo's Arcade Heavy Burger and Johnny Turbo's Arcade
Libertation.
Night Slashers. Kitty Love Way to Look for Love. Luke and Rebecca
Oh, it's
Machinarium.
back.
Speed Brawl.
Pardon the smell of my feet.
Taiko no
If
Tatsujin.
it
Drum
makes it
and
over
Fun.
there.
Crocs World.
Crocs World.
It's not about
Welcome
Crocs.
to my life.
Gal Metal. Okay. KO. Let's Play Heroes. Steven Universe Save the Light. Swap This. The Missing. That's
Swap this.
JJ Macfield and the Island of Memories.
Swap that.
Elemental Knights are Risk, Trivial Pursuit Live, a Demetrios demo, Crocs World demo.
Are there regions that
And there's Pokemon, 2 Pokemon themes for the 3DS as well.
are there still regions where that one game is not out? The Island of Mysteries tour?
Is this a game?
Wubba dubba dub, is that true?
What is it? What was the game? that you
Mickey
just said?
Hill. This is the list of releases available now in Europe.
Right. I could have
So I-
sworn that game came out in Europe already, and now you're saying it again.
Remember how on the other podcast we did a story about how the name in some European locations was wrong?
They had to re-release it.
Yes, now it is available again for real.
Crazy.
Crazy times.
Is it available in the Hoenn region?
Loot Goblin, Diablo 3, Eternal Collection, Amiibo is a real thing. It's coming out this December. It's a GameStop exclusive in the States. So there you go.
Why did you have to say that to me like you're disappointed in me?
No, because you keep having me repeat things, and I don't know if you're
I
joking
think
or
that
if you're
was
not listening.
that was legitimate. That was a good.
That's what's scaring me.
That was
They're
a
all
good
legitimate. That's a good question. Junichi Masuda says that Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu might be the last main Pokemon game he is the director for, because he says it's important to have the younger generation at Game Freak take over the development of Pokemon as a series. I do believe this will probably be, in terms of the main Pokemon RPGs, the last time that I work as a director. So he's like, time for the young bloods to come in and take care of this stuff. Mine is still not working. Oh, there it goes. Ricola says, finally. But will this end the dark ages of Pokemon? Even though non-Masuda games tend to be better than Masuda games, there are more than likely other factors that keep Pokemon in such a state that's had its most, one of its second most successful year in terms of revenue. What a terrible state to be in.
Is everything okay?
Did you go to hit something and it didn't work? You.
What?
Did you go to hit something?
No,
in the,
I was just changing the page.
Oh, I thought you hit a button and it didn't make a noise. I was waiting for the noise. I thought you hit the money button.
Oh, I can if you want to. If you want me to.
Boy, Pokemon Company.
Sorry.
Boy, Pokemon Company sure making a lot of
money.
Oh, that's right. Thank you, Toe Jam. We're sorry and sad to report that Mario's namesake, Mario Segale, has passed away at the age of 84. He was the man, basically the landlord of the warehouse where Nintendo originally stocked their products here in the United States. And Nintendo was looking to give their characters names because Mario was known as Jumpman at the time, and they decided to name Jumpman after their warehouse landlord, Mr. Segale, or Segal.
I love how they named a character after their landlord and another after their attorney.
Yes. Yeah, you would think. I guess at the time they're just like, oh, we need names. We got to think of something quick. Again, it's not working for me. Let's see if it's the internet or if it's the site. Turn that off. Now I am not on the Wi-Fi. Oh, it's the Wi-Fi. Shillelagh says, I have to be honest and say I don't remember hearing that story before. May he rest in peace, and there's life for him even after death. Well, that's a nice statement to make. Yes, may he rest in peace, wherever he may be.
Yeah, the only thing I know about him, other than him being the landlord for the warehouse, is that he made some kind of joke about Nintendo owing him royalties or something.
Yes, he did say that.
And then he died.
We found out
what happened?
this information.
Yes.
Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes is going to get a retail release. GameStop has a listing for Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, which indicates that it's going to see a physical release because they're not going to have a listing for just the eShop version. And according to them, it's going to be $40. I don't know. $40, Ned. I don't know what's going to be in this package other than the game card itself. But yeah, this is unofficially announced. And last we heard from Suda51, he was saying, I want to... Well, no, he was asked... Well, this that's how he sounds. Check, watch the interview. He was asked, will there be a retail release? And he said, maybe. So it looks like maybe became yes. Wired says, great.
The person who does the voice for the kid with the acne in The Simpsons?
Yes. Wired says, great, though $40 seems quite steep. That's why I'm saying we don't know what else is in the package, because I agree it does seem quite steep. But we don't know. This is pretty cool, guys.
Okay.
So Nintendo showed off Smash Bros. Ultimate's World of Light mode.
Ultimate World.
And as we just discussed, Kirby is the only one to survive. It's no surprise that happens because Masahiro Sakurai is the co-creator of Kirby. So obviously he has a special spot in his heart for Kirby.
Warpstar had nothing to do with it.
But there's also another little tribute to Kirby in there. The Japanese name of the World of Light mode is Tomoshibi no Hoshi. Now, if you reverse the kanji for that and read it in the original Chinese reading of kanji that's used in Japanese, the name becomes Hoshi no Kabi. And that is the name of the Kirby series in Japan.
What?
So is this a mistake or coincidence? No. It was perfectly planned out. Pretty damn cool. Sakurai loves doing all that, like little minute crazy detail for his games, and that's why he works so hard, because part of that is part of this stuff is involved in the work. He just likes to do those little touches, and there's a perfect example. Autumnal Blake says that's pretty clever. I do like the English title World of Light, but is the light good or bad? The song would suggest it's bad, but light was what killed all the characters and the whole Milky Way in the trailer.
It's true. It was pretty bright.
It was, yes. I don't know. And the song is certainly solemn sounding. Finally, our last top story for today is a rumor about YouTube coming to the Switch on November 8th. That's really all there is to it. People have said that they want YouTube on the Switch since before the Switch came out. And now, rumor has it, it is coming to the Switch. This information supposedly comes from inside sources, plus a recommended listing on Nintendo's own website. I tried to get the recommended listing. I couldn't get it to pop up. It's not a page that you can just search for on your own. There, at the bottom, Nintendo's site says, you may also like, and it randomly picks stuff based on whatever. So they're saying that's where it popped up, and they had a screenshot of it. So I don't know. But they're saying November 8th. So if this is a rumor, we don't have long to wait to find out if it's true or not. Smasher89 says, I bet once Smash Ultimate comes out, they'll go hard for removing content once again. Well, that's the spirit. Man, right away. All right, that's all your top stories. Holy bajolies, that's a lot of work. Nikki Hill, what have you been playing?
Toon Blast.
Toon Blast. How's it going?
Yeah, what level are you
Can't
on?
talk. I'm blasting. I'm on level 881, I think.
Is it that
881.
Michael says about pooping? Remind me of Blast.
Yeah, I love sitting on that thing and shooting one out.
Shooting one out.
Isn't that what he says?
I think so.
The Good Place.
What does that have to do with Toon Blast?
I don't know. I think because blast, but he doesn't say blast, right? He says shoot.
Yeah, it reminded me.
You're thinking of Blast a Dookie.
A wicked dookie.
Oh, yeah.
Or blowing beefers.
Busta Grumpy.
Or
Laying out
honking
dirt-
out a dirt snake.
A dirt snake, yeah.
So that's all you've played, Nikki Hill? All right. Cobby. What have you been playing, Cobby?
I didn't play anything, sorry.
Soul Survivor
okay.
over here, Mr. Kirby.
Soul Survivor. Mon Brain. Mon Brain, what have you been playing?
Just You Don't Know Jack, I think.
Oh, that's right. I played that. Yeah.
We didn't even finish the game.
Yeah.
Because our friends.
Wow, I didn't talk about that last week or 2 weeks
Our
ago.
friend's house was
No,
being,
the house was fine. It was the neighbor.
I don't know. Somebody was shaking a fence or something. I don't know.
What?
There was a squatter's
There's
fight or something.
A
Yeah,
bum
there were
fight.
squatters.
A squatter squabble.
Colin came over to watch the Evolution pay-per-view, and after that we were playing a game, and he had to leave early because his wife was talking about how the squatter house next door was causing trouble, and there were cops there. Yeah, somebody, I don't know, people left and squatters moved in. So, okay, so nobody played anything. All right.
Well,
What did you play?
I just said I did play something. I just forgot that I had played You Don't Know Jack.
Oh well, yes, you played You Don't Know Jack.
Ramit, what did you play?
Thank you, Nikki Hill and Kirby. So
I don't give a darn.
I played more Red Dead Redemption 2 because after last week I complained a lot, and I said I'm not gonna give up on it.
Is it getting any
Said
better?
maybe my opinion will change as I play on. My opinion has changed.
Okay.
Yes,
Wow.
the game is enjoyable.
Okay.
I believe the beginning is a real slog, and it's a real slow-paced way to start off the game.
Mhm.
Much as I feel Twilight Princess's beginning is a slog, but the game opens up into something fun.
I said slog off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At what point did it start turning around for you? I'm curious.
When I
When
left
the Red
the
Dead
place, I
started
started in the beginning. So in the beginning, you're in this snowed-in cabin, and you can't leave the close surrounding area because there's too much snow.
Mhm.
And really, it's a bunch of tutorial missions that teach you how
that's
to
what I
do
figured.
stuff. But it's like
It goes on
2.5
for
or 3 hours of this stuff. And I know I'm going to continue learning stuff as the game goes on, but this is very slow paced. And it's the stuff I didn't like about the original Red Dead Redemption, which is all right, I'm going on autopilot for 2 to 3 minutes while so-and-so tells me this story.
Mhm.
And then you get there and they tell you more story. And then the game teaches you how to do the most mundane stuff. And so all that's going on, and I'm doing more and more of it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is never going to end. And then finally, the snow lets up and we can leave. And you're going to this place you heard about. The whole caravan's going.
Story was essential.
And you get there, and then it's this is your base camp, and now you set up, and here's your missions. And I'm like, okay, thank God, now I can go out and do stuff. So it becomes more of a traditional game. You go into town, and there's the police station, and they have a wanted mission for you to do if you want, or there's a story mission, or here's a side mission about this reverend that's in your party that loves to get drunk, and he's out drunk in trouble somewhere, and you got to go help him and stuff like that. So you can do more of picking and choosing what you want to do. And with that pacing, I am enjoying it. I do think the controls are bad.
Okay.
They're bad. They're just bad. That your character feels very slow. They put their focus is on the animation of the character over the player's response.
Oh, okay.
So like it makes it feel slow in certain things. Like checking houses is very slow. It takes a long time. And like looting bodies is slow.
That sounds painful.
Like I appreciate like in this game, like you're going to loot bodies and it's like I gotta like you see the character go through the animation of like going down to the body and picking through the stuff and finding things. And that's I get that makes it more realistic, but it also makes it more slow and tedious.
Right.
It's a willing suspension of disbelief if the items are on the ground and I can just, or if the person's on the ground and I just click a button and it's like you found all this stuff. That's fine. Because like I know everybody's like, it doesn't make it real. But like also what doesn't make it real is when you go to hog tie people and the guy goes like this with the rope and then it's just magically around their feet and arms. Like it
That's
doesn't
not how
look
that
real.
works.
Not like this. No. So
you should have to use the thumbstick to weave it around and wrap it around. And then if they get out, it's your fault for not tying them right.
I also think that the item management or menus in general are clunky. You have like a wheel to work with, which is fine. I don't mind that. But like the wheels have like wheels. I guess the wheels have like pages to them, I guess you'd say. So it's like, here's a wheel of all your items. Click this button to go to wheel of all your other guns. And then in those sections of the wheel, you have like different things to switch between. It's like layers and layers of wheels. It feels very clunky. Also, I swear to God, the game makes some very awkward control decisions where it's like, I was on a train and there's this guy who's got one of my guys hostage. And I'm like, oh, they want me to shoot him to save my guy. So I go to zoom in and shoot. But I swear to God, it went to like, the game wanted me to focus on this and it reversed the controls. Where like the shoot button became the lock on button and the other trigger became the shoot button. Because like I did it the first time and I shot my guy in the head. And I was like, what the hell's going on? So I restarted it. And then I was like, why does it want me to hold this button to focus? And I did that and killed the guy. And then I went back out and I took my gun out to shoot. And I was like, yeah, it was the opposite of what it normally is. Unless I'm losing my mind. I've seen that happen a couple times and I don't understand
because
why.
It's a tense situation and you might get a little disorder.
The realism. But I think Rockstar's strengths are there in this game. Characters are well written. There's way too much story that I feel is forced on you. But like the side missions and stuff, I enjoy the characters that I come across. There's like one guy who's like, hey, I know you. You're from this town that you ran away from, which they're trying to avoid people who... Basically, they did a whole bunch of bad stuff in one town and they had to leave. You're hiding out in this other town. Some guy's like, I know you. You were at that thing. And you're like, no, you don't. The guy like runs away and you have to chase him down and like you chase him to the edge of a cliff and like you could either kill him or let him go. And
is there web slinging in this one?
There's rope slinging.
Lasso slinging.
Yes. Which the controls I feel are also bad for. Yes, ZX Billy, I've accidentally pulled my gun out and shot in the air too when I'm sneaking around. I like go through a whole section like sneaking, peeking and everything, and I get like right up behind the guy and I'm like in the air. I'm like, oh god damn. There was a guy there's this like charlatan a snake oil salesman.
Oh yeah.
And he's killing people. I'm still not sure if he knows he's killing people by giving them crappy medicine, or he's just giving them crappy medicine and they die from it.
He doesn't care.
But he's like hiding out. He knows he's in trouble, so you have to go chase him down and hog tie him. So like he jumps into this river and you got to chase him down the river and pull him out. And the controls are so clunky that once he got out of the water, you're supposed to hog tie him and put him on the back of your horse. I caught him 3 times in the lasso and let him go 3 times by accident. Like I'd get him in the lasso and they want you to pull him in and I'd accidentally let go of the rope and the guy's like, it gets up and runs away. I'm like, son of a bitch. And somebody else is on the side of the road going, you better get him. He's getting away. I'm like, I'm trying to get him. He's going to make a monkey out of you.
Wow, Wes is crazy. There's hecklers all over the place.
But yes, I do enjoy. I am having fun. I wasn't having fun before. So when it gets more to just doing the gameplay, I don't think it's anything new. I don't think it's anything crazy or over the top or like extremely well done or exciting, but I do find it enjoyable and it is fun to play.
Did you happen to see a theater where you see a vaudeville act?
I saw the theater where that is. I didn't go to it yet. I saw it on my mini-map.
Our old friend Scott Bradley.
Yes. Did you tell me that? No, Dew told me. Was it you?
No, I saw it on Facebook. I don't think I told you.
I might have seen it too.
Yeah. I was like, really? That's very interesting.
And they recorded it like
2014.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh wow.
Well, the game's been in development for 7 years, so it makes sense.
This is what they came up
but he's not. What is he doing? Like original songs?
I don't know what they're
Or
doing.
like peer songs from the time, I guess maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Because when I first heard it, I was like, that doesn't make sense for the realism because I picture them doing like Lady Gaga in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Well, don't they also have like modern songs in the game? I know they had one in like the last Red Dead Redemption.
I haven't paid attention or I haven't heard anything yet. I've heard music, but nothing that was like.
Well, I mean, it probably happens at like a certain point in the game, so you might not have even.
Yeah, I may not have seen it yet.
When you time travel.
Right.
Time travel
to the future.
Spoiler alert. Okay, so I played that. Also, I played the demo of the Tetris Effect.
Oh, that was that.
Been waiting for this a long time.
Oh,
Damn it! I wish I didn't have to leave.
I mean, the Tetris game takes 5 minutes. You can't play it.
Did you know you could play Tetris? Tetris
You play Tetris for free on my PlayStation Vita. Or my PlayStation VR. Probably on Vita too. It's probably there.
Yeah.
So yes, I played the demo, and it's just as magical as I want it to be. Tetsuya Mizuguchi. The Tetris Effect. That guy? No, he's not in it. You just get the song.
What song?
The song that everybody wants to hear is in the demo, but the demo goes further than that. You get 4 other songs. It's very. If I played this demo and I didn't know anything about who developed it, I would be able to say Tetsuya Mizuguchi right away, without a doubt, because it feels like the worlds of Tetris and Rez combined with each other.
You're chased by a giant.
No, but like one of them is like. So as you play, the songs get more detailed and intricate, and you hear next portions of the song depending on how well you do. And one of them is like, it's like fire imagery, but it's like people sitting around like the Tetris board. Not like realistic people, like Rez style people. Okay. And like the song was like to the beat of a song, and you play more, and the people start like chanting along with the song. And then like a fire grows and then like embers are flying in front of your face. And it's really cool. It's really interesting.
Did you ever get scared that you might get burned?
No, I did not. And I also know like every time you move your tetraminos and spin them and plop them, they all have a different sound effect. But that sound effect is based on the song you're doing. So like the first song, the main song from the trailer, is little clips of that lady singing. So it's like as you're spinning. It's really cool. So you have just a regular, like, you have the story mode, quote unquote. I don't remember what it's called, but that's just going through levels and you have to hit a certain amount of lines cleared to beat that portion. And then there's marathon mode where you get to pick the song that you want to play to. And marathon mode doesn't mean go forever. Marathon mode means you have to get to 150 lines to clear, and every 10 lines it gets faster. So yeah, I love it. It's exactly what I want it to be. It's fantastic. I have 0 complaints. Oh, I have one complaint. I thought X should be the button to rotate blocks the way I like them rotated, and it's circle instead of X, but that's not really a big deal. You might be able to. I didn't bother to look. I just put my thumb on circle. Well, like you're doing shoulder buttons for grab and for hold and for.
I never really did hold.
You should do hold. So I played that, and then
Tetris gives you the blocks you need to succeed. You got to put them in there.
Wow.
Third thing that I played this week, which I didn't even know I was going to play, which I didn't even know was a thing that existed, just like the rest of the world. But I'm very happy it does.
Dark Void 2.
Toby Fox released a new game. Like it's the first chapter of a new game, but it's a new game. He's the creator of Undertale. He put out, he said there was going to be a survey related to a new game he was working on, and the survey is the first chapter of a new project, and it's called Deltarune. And it features characters from Undertale, but yeah,
Roon.
Rune. It's an anagram of Undertale, Deltarune.
Did you know that already? Just by looking at it, you were like, oh.
I mean, I looked at the name and I was like, why is it called this? And then I was like, oh, it has all the letters of Undertale. So,
what about L? Yeah, Delta.
Yeah. Wait a minute. What about that L? So I played it. Man, that guy, he has a knack for making games. He has a voice that is unlike any other voice in the game industry. Yeah, I don't mean his actual voice. His gameplay and storyline voice. Just the way he writes, the way he builds game worlds, his gameplay mechanics. He is something really special. He is something really, really special, and he's ridiculously talented. And to me, it seems like he's extremely humble, which just makes it that much better for me. I really like that. Ella Wolf says that pesky L. Yeah, so Deltarune is it's not a sequel to Undertale, but it's not a sequel. I think technically it's an alternate timeline to Undertale, I guess you could say, without getting into spoilers. But so it's the first chapter of a new project. It takes about 3 hours, I guess, and I took longer than that because I was doing all the side, well, not all the side content. There's not a ton, but I did the side content. There's a special boss you can fight where if you find 3 pieces of a key, you get access to the boss. So I did that, and that boss is challenging, man. I must have spent like a good 40 minutes on that boss alone.
And it's all in a survey style?
Well, no, it's, you know, a game, but he's calling the data from the game is going to be used to create what happens from here on out. But yeah, the battle system is very similar to what's in Undertale, but definitely expanded because now instead of a character, you have a party of 3. And for those who didn't play Undertale, the main thing about Undertale was the battle system was very unique because it had a mercy mechanic, and you could spare characters instead of killing them. So any battle you get into, you can decide to spare an enemy or you can decide to fight an enemy. And in this party, at least early on, one character always wants to fight, and the other 2 are trying to convince, well, I guess one of the other 2 technically is trying to convince them not to fight. And you're the player, obviously, and you have to work around what you want to do and what the other characters are trying to do. But the game, right from the get-go, says your choices do not matter. Whereas Undertale, every little choice you made mattered in a great way.
Are you sure you can trust the game, though?
That's the thing. Yeah. Things on the surface might not change, but who knows? I don't know. I can't say enough good things about it, just like Undertale. Absolutely fantastic. It's free. There's really no reason to play. If you haven't played Undertale, I would play Undertale first because you'll appreciate this a lot more. But that guy, man, what an amazing, amazing creator. He's something special. And I was so excited for Deltarune that I did something I rarely do. I played it, and I was like, I want to see all of it tonight. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to savor it a little bit. So I played what I felt was like 2/3 and quit, and came back to it a couple days later and finished it up. And I'm glad I did because I feel like if you rush through something like that, that taints how you view it. And I feel it goes for reviews in games today, too. Reviewers have deadlines to go through. I've been a part of that, too. And sometimes you have to rush through a lot of content. You don't really get to let it like sit with you and appreciate it and think about it because you're just worried about getting to the deadline or finishing the game. And I used to play games all the time where I was like, I got to finish it. Okay, what game's next? And, you know, I moved on from that because I feel it's not the best way, at least for me, to appreciate games. So don't rush through Deltarune because according to Toby Fox, he's 0% complete on the follow-up. And he doesn't know how long it's going to take. So this could be, huh? He said 0%, yes. We don't know how many years it's going to be until we see this actual project because he said he's not releasing like chapter 2 and chapter 3. He's going to release all the other chapters at once, at one time. He's like, I don't want. It's going to be one price. I'm not making you pay for everything. So who knows when it's coming out? So yeah, it was an amazing week for games, man. The Tetris demo.
Games, man.
Red Dead is obviously huge for the mainstream gamer, and Deltarune is fantastic. It's Undertale and Deltarune. If you play video games, I honestly think if you play video games, you have to play both of those games. They are the pinnacle of some ideas that can be done in video games. What?
I don't know if I played Undertale here. I think I may have
Maybe a little bit. Your brother, I will never forget the reaction your brother had to Undertale. He played through the whole thing. I watched him do the whole thing. And at the end of the game, he just sat there staring at the TV. And he's like, I have never experienced something like that in any entertainment form. I was like, I know this game is really something special.
What about when I played Ori and the Sleeping Forest?
That's not a game.
Oh, it's Ori in the
Blind Forest.
Oh, I got it. Sorry. All right, let's do music. We don't have time for a question.
What?
Remember when I played that?
I do remember.
First time I never finished it, but second, I
better hurry up. That sequel's coming out.
Oh,
you don't have you have to play a sequel here.
Oh yeah, let me just do that.
It's not out.
Can you please build a room for my dog then, so I can just come here?
We have 2 rooms right outside.
You don't have to build one.
Got a shed on each side of the house. I'd say a shed is a pretty big house for a dog.
We could heat them.
Dog shed.
We could.
Well, the one is full of
Eat
pellets.
them.
Just light them on fire.
Oh,
What?
my sister had a question about a game.
Super Mario?
That's it. She couldn't think of the name.
What's the name of
She's like
Mario's
some
brother?
little racially
I got
insensitive
music.
Italian
You
man,
wanna hear
and
it?
he kills turtles. I was like, yeah, Mario. That's it.
Okie doke. So the first song of the day comes to us from Antonio Barbosa. And it
No
is-
question this week, Autumnal. We had the 2 reader things that I read earlier, so
Hey.
Kirby knows this one. I won't say the game, but I believe the song name is Corridors of Time.
Yep.
This is from Chrono Trigger.
Another one of the best games ever.
One of my favorites. This is in the Kingdom of Zeal.
What's up, Nicky?
Got
Do I have a written list of my favorite games ever? No. Undertale's on there. Chrono Trigger's on there. Skyward Sword's on there.
Whatchamacallit, you know.
Honey Pop's on there.
Well, obviously.
Well, okay, go ahead.
No, the song, the game, you know, the one.
Yeah.
The sad one, End of the World.
Fragile?
Yeah. That's
Fragile
it.
Cream Dreams?
All right, so that was Chrono Trigger from Antonio Barbosa. This one comes from Jet Jaguar.
Focus, all attacks. Can you turn it up a little bit? Please?
Is this NES?
No.
Game Boy?
Game Boy Color?
I default to Rami.
Pokemon something. Let's start out with that.
Metal Gear?
No.
What was the Game Boy Color?
Okay. It sounds a little actiony, but it sounds a little spooky too. I was gonna say spooky. Is it a little spooky?
Yeah,
Oh, it's a little actiony.
probably.
Oh,
Castlevania something.
Nope.
Dracula.
No.
it's not Ninja Gaiden because that wasn't on.
Nope.
But spooky. What is spooky? Oh, Resident Evil.
Yes,
I didn't know there was a Resident Evil on Game Boy.
Gaiden.
sure was. It was from Jet Jaguar. This one comes from Prat Trap.
Focus all attacks.
Nope. Thank you. Wow. We're going somewhere.
Only 40%.
Oh wow, oh wow.
Metroid something.
Did you say Retroid?
Metroid.
that really a song? Was
Yeah,
this
that
really a
that wasn't
song?
music at all.
We don't know.
Sorry.
You know? I don't know.
No More Heroes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
We played that.
That was
Yeah.
from Pratt Trap.
I don't remember that
What's
song.
the title of that clip?
Moe. That was Strawberry on the Shortcake from No More Heroes.
Yes, it was. It was Strawberry Shortcake.
Strawberry.
Are you
Almond
being
Shortcake?
serious?
No, it said. I think it said Strawberry Shortcake.
Really?
I don't
Pretty
know.
sure.
Wow. I don't either. I remember him saying strawberry on the
I
shortcake.
didn't know it made a noise.
All right. Well, this one comes from Fred McNanner.
Okay, Super Nintendo? Or
Yeah,
is-
Super Nintendo.
License?
Mm, I don't know.
This is a puzzle game. It's got a puzzle
No.
vibe. Oh, okay. Okay, it's a licensed game.
I guess it is.
Wow. Pretty good.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah. Is it a skating game or something?
No.
Biker Mice for Noise.
No.
I got nothing.
Yeah. You say it's not a sports game?
It is a sports game.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Ken Griffey Jr.
No.
Hockey.
No.
Baseball.
No.
Basketball.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Bill Embier's Combat Basketball. Yes! Yes, finally!
Yes, it
Who
was.
sent that in?
Fred McNanner.
Oh, thank you,
Combat
Fred.
Basketball?
Yeah, it's like,
funny.
oh yeah, we should watch the commercial for it because it's great. It's like basketball in the future, and it's like super
So it's
violent.
robots.
Bill Embers, you said?
Bill Lambier.
Bill Embers.
Chasing
LAIM.
Lambert's
Yeah.
combat basketball.
This one comes from Autumnal Blake.
Oh, what the heck?
Oh, this is
Oh. It's Rhythm of Heaven.
this is
Fever.
This is the Miami Sound Machine.
It's double double.
Hold for the
Wait,
Great.
like that someone sending a clip of us singing the
That's
song.
what he said.
Thank you.
You hear everybody singing it.
Whoa, you go, big guy.
What is this?
Rhythm Heaven Fever. It's the wrestler interview.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. This one goes from Link 601.
Conduit.
No.
What system?
Jeez.
Jeez.
3DS.
$3DS? 3Ds?
I'm going to say the Conduit again. Resident Evil something.
Not Doom, what was that? Moon.
Moon. That's DS. Oh, they re-released it. They re-released
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yes, they did. It's not that.
Moon.
It's not Moon.
Wait, did you say it was on the 3DS though?
It's on the 3DS.
This is the 3DS.
Are you being serious?
I actually was.
It's like when we were watching Evolution.
Well,
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I got nothing. Doing bad this week.
It's not Moon.
Sun. Earth.
Doom. What's the other one? Dimension. What was the other one that
Dementium.
Dementium Award. That was on the DS.
It's got to be planet related.
What is it?
She says it's not moon,
Is it-
right? So you're saying it's
It's not
planet.
Moon.
Mars.
Something moon or moon something?
is? Is it a first person?
We don't know what it is.
Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Oh,
Yeah.
she got us.
Turds.
You doink.
You doink. This one comes from
Yeah,
Cammy.
dink.
You dumped.
You dumped. You basic.
on.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
This is also related to the moon, isn't it?
No.
No, this is the Mario level, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was on the moon. Oh, this isn't the moon song though.
No, it's the Mario level. Where you go into the giant version of yourself.
Yes. This is Super Mario Land 2. 6 golden coins.
The 6 golden coins.
I always thought the wasn't in there.
Well, I remember
I don't think it is.
What? Oh, okay. Didn't somebody like get mad at you because you didn't?
Yeah,
the,
they were wrong.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah, we got it.
I just wanted to make sure you were finished. This one comes from Reginella. Oh dear.
This is definitely a Rhythm Heaven.
Nope.
This is definitely a Wario.
Yep.
WarioWare. Gold. We'll start with gold.
No.
And
Smooth moves.
hey.
That reminds me of Pet.
There's that thing.
Oh, the yes.
All right, so that was from Reginald, and it was Smooth Moves. This one comes from Glitter Bubble 3.
Glitter Bubble 3.
Glitter Bubble 3.
Is that what you said?
Glitter Bubble 3.
Is this first party?
Hal.
Okay, Hal. But this is early NES days, so who knows?
NES.
Okay. I mean, it's not Kirby, so, but it's Hal. It's Hal.
No, it's not a golf game. As far as I can tell.
Oh God, what else did Hal do? All I can think of is Ghostbusters 2, but that didn't come out here. What else did Hal do? This is NES, right?
Kabuki Quantum Fighter.
No.
Come on. It's not Kirby. Oh,
Sounds like a Star Wars ripoff.
Lolo and Lola.
No.
Damn it. The Adventures of Lola.
No.
The Adventures of Lola. I don't know. Go ahead.
Air Fortress.
I would have never got it.
That was Air Fortress from Glitter Bubble 3. And the last song today comes from Mikey3319.
What's this one? I think it's this one.
NES.
Super Alfred Chicken.
No.
It sounds like it wants to be Sunsoft, but I don't think it's Sunsoft.
Tecmo.
I think that last song's melody just doesn't have any.
All right, is it a sports game?
I don't think so.
Okay, that eliminates all of us. Ninja Gaiden 3. Only one I didn't play.
I have no idea.
Is it licensed?
Don't think so.
All right, we don't know.
Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice. You know,
yeah.
fire,
Game
apostrophe,
of
and
Thrones.
ice. That's right.
We got 6 right and 4 wrong.
Hope you're proud of yourself.
You got 6 right? I feel like we got all of them
6 wrong, 4 right. I don't
Just,
know.
I
6
guess a
right,
couple
4
of-
wrong.
Yeah.
Does that sound right to you?
Sure.
Thanks, Omar.
You got that combat basketball.
I think that's what he's saying, right and wrong. Feels like we got more than 4 wrong. Though.
Well, just go with it. You
How
know.
does he differentiate R for right? Or
It's
R
just
for
the
wrong?
number. When you do a win-loss, you don't do a loss-win. 6 out of 10 right. Yes. Thank you, Omar. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye. See ya. Don't forget to change your clocks.
I won't see you next week. Go vote.
Is that this weekend?
It
Is that
is.
tonight?
Right?
Hot damn tonight?
We get an hour tonight.
Oh no.
The Pete and Pete hour.
Yeah, we should watch that.
Oh no.
That's all no.
What's wrong?
I could sleep, but Sally won't
Clown will eat
understand.
me. Well, just tell her. That's all you gotta do is
Just
explain it.
it to me. Yeah.
Sarah says, thanks, RMC, Mom, Brain, Kirby, Manch, and Sexy Harry Belly Hill. Just reading what's right. Great show as usual. Bye, everyone. Kisses and hugs.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks for stopping by.
What year is this going to be?
Oh, that commercial.
Yeah, this is how I know about it.
Whoa! Oh man, there's a screen on the back, the backboard. Bounce back.
Oh, that's right. It was a Hudson game. I mean, I just kind of assumed it's set in the
What year
future.
did he say?
What?
What year did he say?
Did they say it?
Thought so.
I mean,
Oh, 2090.
oh. So this is 100 years after this career.
So there's still time to get there.
We could still do it. I don't know how the time zones work for other people in other countries.
Yeah, who cares?
Like they already did the time change in the Netherlands, right? So tonight we are turning our clocks back an hour. So at the hour of 2 a.m. we will, or technically at the hour of
standard, or is it daylight savings?
What time do you do it? At 2, right?
I think it's 2.
I don't know. You spring forward. So
You
that's
fall
when
back.
we
are
are
falling
now we're
back.
going back to normal time.
Right, standard, not daylight savings, right?
Yes, we are EDT right now. Eastern Daylight Time. Right?
It's not like DTF.
No. Hey, ladies, are you EDT? Excited?
Yeah. I need to get going. So if we're gonna play,
All right. Well, I'm waiting for the thing to export, like I always do.
so
Just
I'll
calm
see
down.
you on. I don't think I will see you next Tuesday.
Omar says, "What if twins are born at 1:01 a.m.
That's on
and at
Reddit.
2:01 a.m. tonight? Who is older?" Why do you say stuff like that?
I saw that on Reddit.
Why? No, that's not what I asked. Omar's asking us the question. Does he have to cite where his question comes from?
Just saying.
God, you think Omar Gooding could get a little more respect around here?
I don't really feel very well, and I'm grouchy.
That's not an excuse.
I wish he understood just as much when we tell him something and his response is, "Yeah, I saw that."
She's
I know.
we're friends.
On Reddit.
If I send a link or something on the group message chain and Romy doesn't respond, I know he's just being nice because he's already seen it and he doesn't
That's
want to
not
make
true.
me upset.
There was like with the doing a new thing.
Right,
I
that's
just
'cause you
didn't
never
see
saw
that
it.
until later in the day. Yeah, but I didn't respond for like hours.
God is doing it.
No,
No,
he's
no,
doing
no, he's doing it.
it.
All right, guys.
Jesus Christ, God is doing
We
it.
are out of here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye,
Listen.
everybody.
I didn't mean to rush you off. Goodbye, everybody.
Brush me off.